Could have been a bit more colourful.
Hello, can people hear me?
Yeah.
Right, Maz,
Yeah.
for the last time, start a party.
What?
Start a party. Me and you.
Start a party.
Ooh,
I've been saying for
boys.
the last 10 minutes, but I don't think anybody could hear me.
No, we couldn't.
Right, okay.
No.
Alright, goodbye. Have fun. Good luck, lads.
Ciao.
Cheers, catch you later.
Little Leech is an interesting one to watch tonight because he was testing last night while you were streaming.
Yeah.
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 31s.
29s, 30s. But when you ask him if that was consistent, it was no. So yeah, I don't think
Man of little words, isn't he?
he's not been on the PlayStation since the end of last season because obviously baby's been born and everything.
Yeah. It's been keeping him busy.
Right, let's go. Best of luck to you guys tonight.
There you go.
Cheers, Matt. I'll try and avoid the drama.
Thank you, Matt. But I think it's going to be bookends. One Davis at the front and one at the back.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? We'll have to wait and see.
I'll see you
I've
at the- I'll
got
see you at
no
the back, Matt.
expectations.
I'll see you at the back,
I'm
Matt.
the lowest graded driver on this grid as well, look.
You're not the lowest graded. Your safety's low, but
My safety's lowest, yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Your
just basically
overall-
on how long you've been racing the game. Safety.
Monkey Boy is the lowest by the looks of things. A 14.7.
Is Monkey Boy
yeah.
only a 1471? Wow.
Yeah. So the number is how good you are racing against other drivers.
Your number's better than Andy's as well, and Peaceful's, and
Peaceful's,
BT
yeah.
Targa's, and Argent's, and Gary's.
Doesn't mean shit, does it?
Your number's also better than Sutty's, 1675 for Xmart.
But it doesn't mean shit, though, does it, really?
Well,
shit.
it's an indication because you start on 1500 straight away, so it's an indication on whether you've sort of, over your time of racing on Project Cars with competitive license on, whether you've been clean or not. Because if your rating's above 1500, which is what it starts at, you kind of know you've done better. Whereas if it's below 1500, like Monkey Boys, you've kind of been involved in a few incidents. Whether they're your fault or not.
Matt, what's the quick window?
4 to 14, I'm going to post it now. I'm just waiting for Mazda to send me the invite for this party.
You can nod it off.
Did he even leave? He didn't leave, did he?
He has left. He's just sent me the invite now.
This is where May says he hasn't got an invite.
He's going to be in. I can't wait to see how he gets
Well,
on in
then
this.
tell him to restart his PlayStation. In fact, what I will do is I will just fucking do that quickly. He should have one now.
We've all got them, have we?
Yeah, you've all got another one. Just
But we don't have to move now. So are you staying in? Why's what?
Why is Sutty not in it?
I don't know. Where is he? He is here. Oh, he's here. He's on the thing. Are you staying in here, Dan? Is this party?
I guess so. I don't know.
right. I'm going in with Mazda. Best of luck to you guys tonight, Kelly.
Right on, mate. Thank you.
Kelly,
What about me?
Yeah, mate. See
come
you
on.
the podium.
Good lad. Catch you later.
What about me?
Dan, you'll probably
you'll be there
fucking
anyway.
win again. Let's be fucking honest. It's getting a bit boring now, isn't it?
I won't win again. Now you said
He'll be
that,
on the
I'll
podium.
lose. I ain't got a rear gunner this time.
I will be, yeah. Right, Sooty's joined the party. Here he is. Hey!
Hello.
Keep it clean,
How you doing,
Graham.
mate?
Pardon?
Keep it clean.
Keep what clean?
Tonight, please. I will be watching based off the other night and all the sandits that went into the side of other cars, like a chorus.
Who did?
I'll be watching, Sooty.
You'll be watching. I'm on the pad anyway.
Oh, he's gave up on the wheel already, Dan, look.
I've got half my leg tattooed. I'm a bit tender.
Oh, fair enough. Right, best of luck, boys. Best of luck.
Right on, mate.
Here we go then, Maz. I bet this was the last thing he was expecting today, wasn't it?
Mate, I was not even expecting it.
Right, just 2 seconds. Hello, lads.
Hey, up, bud.
Just want to wish you, Monkey Boy, the best of luck. 'Cause I not had a chance to speak to him.
Thanks.
Did you buy that undershirt for 75 quid?
No.
No, I didn't think so. Mate, when you sent me that picture, seriously, Floyd's got a kid's version of that hung up in his wardrobe. It don't fit him anymore. I'm seriously tempted, if they're that much, to sling it on YouTube, on eBay, should I say.
Yeah, that was like, I was like, what?
Like, that's only like 3-4 years old as well, that shirt. So it's not even like a 90s one or anything, do you know what I mean? It's not like a super tourer. Crazy. I've got loads from like 6 years, 7 years ago in my wardrobe. They don't fit, but yeah, I might do if they're going up that price.
Mad, isn't it?
Right.
Oh, why's Maze kicked from the session?
I don't know. Right, I'm going to get back into part 2. Mazda, I just want to say good luck to Monkey Boy as well as
He
Peaceful.
just said he's joined and kicked, then kicked.
Yeah, well, he said he posted on Discord he did have an invite. So, fuck knows. Right.
Is this the league, the
Championship, yeah.
I wonder
Yeah.
if it's that. That's
not-
the only time it kicks people.
Oh, it's not an American track, so that's why it's the championship, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but
So-
that's what I mean. If he didn't have an invite, I wonder if that's why it kicked him.
I'll
'Cause
back
if
out now
someone does
before we
try and
start.
join,
In fact,
it
let me
kicks
do
him,
that
yeah.
before I... Because if that's the case, people are going to
Yeah,
have to...
Again, Maze Gamer joined and was kicked from the session.
Drive roster, Maze Gamer 7... I've added the wrong Maze Gamer.
Right.
Right. Can you post on the Discord, Mike, quickly, to
Yeah,
just back out the session?
Yeah, will do. I've got it open. I'll let you go
Fuck
and
it,
do
that's
that,
what
Mark,
you get. That's what you... I need everybody to get out before he saves.
before it starts, you mean?
But no, before I can save it, it won't register the save thing before
right.
everybody's out. Maze Gamer... This is the problem when people have multiple accounts. Do you know what I mean? Like, fucking
Yeah.
good lord.
Well done for yesterday, anyway.
Thank you very much. I got criticised.
enjoy it?
Yeah, I did enjoy it. You've got some stewarding to do on me, apparently.
Yeah.
So be kind. Don't forget who's your number one fan.
Right, I've just posted that.
Yeah, I know.
Just stay in that session, Mike, until everybody's come out. All right. All right. You see, I don't mind when
Criticised you.
Ukbar put it in against me.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I bounced off the curb. It rated the way I see it as a steward. I'm not just saying it because it's myself. I think it's no more than a racing incident, to be honest. But you guys decide at the end of the day, and
That's not what we're coming up with.
it is what you guys give it at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. I don't think it's any
We've
more
already
than.
said, Randy, we might have to pull him in for excessive use of fucking headlight flashing.
Flashing.
Don't know.
I
you
called him
annoyed?
fucking Tyler Himovich. He was flashing that bad. You weren't happy? See, he's gone quiet now.
No,
Yeah,
sorry, I was
he's
just
gone.
typing back out the lobby. No, honestly, I'd say, yeah, I was a bit annoyed after I got tapped round by Nicky. Mike will be able to send you the footage for a Nicky Ukbar incident he's asked from my POV. And it shows why I was a bit annoyed at Nicky after that. At the end of that.
He's got a video clip, and it's
It's on my Twitch Monkey Boy from last night.
I haven't seen it. I've only heard it, and I was hearing his Matt go, "What?" Dead loud. I said, "Are you going to play that in a highlights reel if I win one?" What? Peaceful wins.
Hey, what about Beckham, Savage, and Neville?
I know.
Hey?
What about that? That was a good
Fucking-
clip, wasn't it?
Hey.
Is this
He's playing them
football?
tomorrow.
Yeah, on my Football Manager stream on Monday, Monkey Boy were there. We're having a bit of a laugh, and I was only planning on doing a certain amount till certain players' contracts expired, and they went. And then I thought, oh, you know, Scout started giving me a few players. David Beckham's lad.
Are they all backed out yet?
I don't know. I'm going to save it now and try. I'm sat there and I'm like, oh, you know, David Beckham's lad here, fucking mega. Yeah, they've all backed out. Right, get back in that. So I was like, oh, David Beckham's lad, mega. Then I got like Robbie Savage's kid and Phil Neville's kid. And I've got Monkey Boy and this other bloke in chat just like egging me on to sign him and stuff. I'm like, let's fucking do it. Right, I'm going back in with Mazda. Well, good luck for tonight, lads.
Yeah.
Chat to you later.
Hopefully.
Well, either way, I'll be chatting to you after if you're on for a few laps. Yeah. See you later. Well, I'm a penis.
Aye. Did
Because
you forget Maze?
no, I added his wrong account.
Ah.
Down. Biggs. Andy. Disco. Gary. Craig. I think we're only missing D Biggs tonight. So there should be 17 people in this session.
It says 16 of 18. So we're missing
There's Little Leech in
one
here.
more.
Is Little Leech in?
I'm looking. No. So who's teammates with email?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Fury.
Yeah, what car is he in?
Mercedes AMG.
Looks like he's in a GT4 to me.
Oh.
Emo guy.
Yeah, why is he in a Janelle? Now I've been disconnected. What is going off here? Right, now I'm back in.
Right, you're in. But
Yeah.
no email. So we've got a GT3, GT. Everybody's in a GT3. So we just need an email guy.
Little Leech in, no.
No, it'll lead to an email. Can't believe they're the same colour as Fury and
As
Origin.
Peaceful and Origin as from season 1, yeah, no.
It's like, why pick the same live? So it's gonna be like. The Mercedes has a lot of other colours and they pick that. So we have Disco X Mark VT.
Little Leech has just finished feeding nothing.
Unorthodox, Sutty, Gary, Kelly, Fury, Arjun, Andy, Peaceful, Maze. I'm allowed to change car.
What in?
Me GT3.
Alright.
Because I've been put with a new AM driver.
Alright, yeah.
So I'm going to see what car he wants, and if he wants to change, we change. If not, we're staying in Bentley. And I'm going to test the Corvette out more, not tomorrow, because now I've got a deal with Abby.
Yeah.
So I'll be testing it Saturday.
Yeah, no worries. Right, just waiting on email.
And if you haven't heard, Bathurst has been moved to the May.
Yes, I did hear that. I did see that.
So I'm quite happy. Email's in. Is he in the right car though? Let's have a look. Yep, he's in the Merc.
Right, let's go. Right, so when the screen goes to the track, we're live.
Okay. I'm quiet now.
down here. Get my black pen. Shit, I've not even got my fucking stream on yet. Why is he not in 1080? Oh, fucking hell, it's because I took it on the fucking stream.
Are we live?
We'll be in a second. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport. And hey, it took a while for me to be back in the commentary box, but it is so nice to finally be back here and to be live with you all from the beautiful sunny Spielberg, or a bit cloudy today, should I say, of Spielberg here in Austria. What a time to be back. It was meant to be me and my new partner in crime, Nicky, but he's got internet problems, so I'm joined by an old commentator and who is now an admin of appeals for this season. Mazda, very good evening to yourself, my friend. How are you?
Good evening, guys, and yeah, I'm not bad, thank you. You?
Very, very well. You didn't expect to be doing this tonight, did you?
No, this is a last-minute call, so... But hey, it's been... You know, I'm not a race no more for this, so it's nice to get back in the commentary booth, and especially with you. After your race last night.
Yes, thank you very much. You obviously racing on a Wednesday night in another league for Simplay Racing, the new team of Simplay Racing.
Yep. Which
went well for yourself, 4th or 5th. We got a good result, me and Smithy, on this. And obviously me and you, bitter rivals on the F1 on a Sunday evening.
Yeah, that was a great battle between me and you until I not dropped it, but I hit the wall and I had to just settle for second.
It's going to be a fascinating season, that one, as we go through. Obviously, World Endurance coming your way shortly as well. You're entering in that one. You looking forward to that one?
Yes, mate. I've been asking you for a while for a multi-car championship, and you finally listened to us, and yeah, I'm happy to be there, and well, for everybody else to be taking part in it, so yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a fascinating season. What is going to be fascinating as well is this GT3 lineup. We reckon this is potentially one of the quickest GT3 lineups we've had in the Pro Series for a couple of seasons. And what a start to the season we are going to bring to you. We've got, of course, the defending champs of Unorthodox and D-Biggs. D-Biggs not able to be here tonight, but we do have Unorthodox who is going to take part in this one in a brand new car. Now, if we can let's get him on the screen. And Masters forgot what to do with the cameras.
Yep, there we go.
There he is in his brand new McLaren 650S. Unorthodox, trying to as is most drivers this season, to be fair. Are they copying the champ? We don't know. But all we do know is this guy looks seriously quick in another car.
He certainly does, doesn't he, from what we have seen. But I'm gonna say something else. There's not just a the champ in the new car. There is another guy.
Yeah, there is.
Believe it or not, it's this guy here.
It is this guy here. The Ferrari is back. We've not seen it since season 2 with Unorthodox and Fury, who didn't make it work and changed to the Porsche. Obviously, back in the day, the rule you was allowed to change car in the season, but you had to drop your points. That rule is no more. So Peaceful has left his Mercedes-Benz AMG and is now in the Ferrari with Monkey Boy, returning teammate, and these boys running the Simplay Racing name. This is a partnership that we've seen for a couple of seasons now that works. What we want to know now is, what can they do in this Ferrari? This is an interesting one.
It certainly is. We're not going to spoil it for you guys, so you'll have to keep watching to find out their true pace.
The other teams, though, on the grid line up as this, though. Andy is returning with Disco McDisco Face. The Slingshot Motorsport boys have kept with the BMW M6, and as we saw with Dean Wysocki last night, it is a perfectly good car to keep this kind of pace and momentum going in their season. And can they mount more of a title challenge this year? I think they might do. We've also got BT Targa and Exmart. Prolapse came third in the title race last season. They are in the McLaren. What won't surprise people is that if you notice, all the Prolapse boys seem to be in McLarens, even in the Pro-Am. They're in the McLaren Exmart and BT Targa. What can they do tonight? And don't worry, BT Targa, yes, is in a silver livery. He's not teamed up with someone you'll see later. These are the team liveries that the game go by, and that is why they are in them. Fourth place from last year's Constructors, the Leach Motorsport boys are back, and they've ditched the Renault. And what you may notice is a familiar looking colour. Season 1 champs and Season 2 champs back in the Porsche and back in their Season 1 liveries. Another exciting move this season, Maz, to see the champ, the two-time champ, back in his favoured car. Little Leach, who's a new dad as well, was a dad at the end of last season. So massive congrats to him and his partner on the birth of their baby boy Thomas. Who's a couple of months old now, I'd imagine. But congrats to them. But it's so nice to see these guys back in the Porsche.
Yeah, it is. Well, I wasn't there to challenge, so obviously I dropped out again. Like normal. Got to keep that up. But no, it's good to see these guys back in the Porsche, and let's see if they can mount a challenge and be up there with them. Yeah,
last season's third place driver Fury stays with the Mercedes AMG. Oh, Little Leach having a bit of a moment. Stays in the Mercedes AMG, and this is now a car that we're interested to see. Change your livery. You might remember that's Peaceful Explosions one that won the first ever race here at Simplay Motorsport back at Silverstone nearly 2 years ago when we started. But he's teamed up with his Season 1 teammate from the Nissan days of Emo Guy. Can they mount a challenge in this AMG? Very interested to see this. A lot of people dropping the AMG and Porsche thinking that is it going to suit this winter weather and the tracks that we've got coming up throughout the season. Maz, this an interesting car choice?
Yeah, it is, because like you say, the tracks this season seem to be a bit like less power, more downforce. And I know this car has got ridiculous downforce. You can chuck it on, but you add downforce, we all know you go slower. So it'll be interesting to see what this car can actually do in the winter. It
will be. It's going to be fascinating to know. And then we go, obviously no Pro-Am champion this year. Rabbit Joe, taking a year's sabbatical, wanted to come away from the game for a bit of time. He's going to be back in the World Endurance, but not on the game. He's actually an admin's appeals spokesperson with yourself. You're doing appeals with Rabbit Joe. But the runner-up of the Pro-Am, KLF 900. And you'll never guess what he's in. That's right. It's a McLaren, the Audio Sport Prolapse. Obviously, Audio Sport, one of our fantastic sponsors and our key sponsor here at Simplay Motorsport. He's got the McLaren. But what a teammate he's got. The experience of Sooty Apex. Can this team deliver the goods? We know the Sooty send it. We know we know what Kelly's capable of anyway, especially if you're close to a wall. But can these boys deliver the goods in this car? Maz, we've seen Sooty in an Acura, and he got great stuff out of the Acura in the Pro. What can he do in this McLaren?
Well, you'd hopefully go forward and better, wouldn't you? You'd hope so anyway, but interesting partnership, really is. It
is as well. And then the man who we thought was going to win the Pro-Am title last year, Maze Gamer, on the grid with a new teammate. He's got to be with a teammate. He was an independent last year. Yeah. He's stuck with the Mercedes AMG and is now the latest inductee into the Forever Forward Racing camp. Maze Gamer's teamed with Kieran Argent. These two coming up from Pro-Am. Kieran got the call to come up to Pro after Rabbit Joe took that year out. What can Argent and Maze do this season?
Be interesting to see, because that Pro-Am pace to the Pro pace, well, like you said, this season is absolutely unbelievable. So it'd be nice to see what he can actually do. He's stuck with a car he knows, so he's got that little bit of upper hand against some other drivers, with a new car like Kelly, Sutty. I know Sutty's a quick one, but
Yeah.
can he get the grips to that car? So yeah, interesting to see.
It is going to be interesting to see. We've got a fantastic season lined up, and I will go through the calendar for you in just a moment. Tonight will mark Dan's 97th race start. His 100th appearance will come at the first round of the World Endurance Championship in a week's time. A week on Saturday, the World Endurance starts. So we are so close to our first 6-hour race of Silverstone. But the calendar this season, Maz, wouldn't suggest it's a Merc-friendly calendar. Red Bull Ring, kind of a bit of a level playing field. Watkins Glen, will it suit the Merc? We don't know. That's a morning race. We then head back to Hockenheim Grand Prix circuit. Brno is back on the calendar. Not seen that since season 1. Fuji, but not a night race this time. We don't head to Daytona. We go to Texas for our road course night race. Very interesting. Alton Park's back. Long Beach is back. Ruapuna. Laguna Seca is an evening race. We go to the Nürburgring for the 11th round, the penultimate rounds of the season, a night race, and we finish the season at such an iconic track of Spa. It's going to be an absolutely cracking season. Dan leads the way on 25 race wins. In this category, Little Each has the most race starts on 103. And in terms of pole positions, Andy needs 1 pole position tonight to be on 20 and take the most pole positions away from Jamie Brazier. In terms of things for the manufacturers, the Acura got its first ever race win in GT3s at Simplay Motorsport last night and is tied with the Mercedes SLS. I don't know if Dan and Kelly said it, but it's a stat that's on the page and I'm happy to say that one. But the Porsche, I am. The Porsche is 5 race wins away from its 50th race win here at Simplay. The only Porsche on the grid is Gary and Little Each. Can they get them 5 wins this season to get it to that magic 50 mark?
This is a quick one for you, right? It's amazing how at one point we had a lot of Porsches and Mercedes, and now we've gone from 1 Porsche to now a lot of McLarens. You know what I mean?
We have, yes.
Turned.
My thing is with these McLarens, right, and I love the McLaren, I think a lot of the Prolapse boys have been persuaded by Dan. Do you know what I mean? Dan's the champ. And, hey, they may have made their own decisions, but have they been persuaded by Dan? He's made the McLaren look very quick in test, and a lot of guys have seen this. So is that what Prolapse are thinking? Work as a unit, which, you know, it's not a bad strategy. We know there's Prolapse drivers scattered about everywhere. Work as a unit. Is that one of their things? We used to see a lot of Mercedes. The Mercedes now, you've got to say, in Fury's hand, brilliant. Kieran May's gamer and emo guy in the Pro, we'll have to wait and see. The Porsche back in probably one of the best drivers' hands in Gary. Let's be honest, Porsche's. If Gary wins this title, Porsche will be the only car to have won Pros Championships. Porsche won season 1 and 2 with Gary, season 3 and 4 with Dan. You know what I mean? So Porsche is the only car to win the Pro Series. Just before we carry on, Fury's granddad in the chat. Good luck, go Fury and Emo. Want to shout out massive happy birthday to Fury's granddad today. Happy birthday, Tony. Hope you've had a cracking day. Nice to see you on stream as well. It's nice to have you here for tonight's action as always. Well, let's hope that Laura pops in as well, the lovely Laura. As we say, evening to my teammate Smithy. No Laps boys are back. They was back last night, Smithy, weren't they? They're not leading the Pro-Am, are they, boy? Sweet and Sour Motorsport. Oh, evening to Disco Face as well. PM Motorsport in the chat. Peaceful Stepdad, nice to have you here as well as Rosie Thomas. Looks like a new person in the chat as well. So very good evening to all of you. Thank you all for being here. And what can we say then about these McLarens, Maz? There's a lot of them.
There is certainly a lot. You know, this track, I like to say, might not suit it. We don't know because we've not really seen a McLaren run full season. So, well, we have, haven't we? We've seen it in the Pro-Am, but never in the Pro. So it'll be interesting to find out. Maybe in the Champs' hands, it could be a very nice car. And no, the Prolapse guys have, caught on, like you said. But I don't know, something about where is he? Let's just. Been showing some good pace. I can't tell you say, but he's been showing some good pace. And Monkey Boy, his teammate. So but then again, you never know. The Mercedes could be,
Yeah, we've got to see, but you know as well as me, Maz, this is a BMW kind of circuit, and Andy is setting the pace, and Disco's third, and look how tight them top 7 are. 0.8 of a second separate the top 7. This is now, for KLF and Argent and Maze, this is a different ball game, isn't it?
Yeah, Right, it completely is a different ball game, but then after 8th, so 7th place is like less than a second. You can look from 8th downwards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
again, it's 0.6 of a second.
it's
1
so
second.
close.
1 second separates Mays in 8th and Emo Guy in 15th. It is a tight field this year. Smithy, I saw a lot of no laps behind me last night. Yeah, we did, boy. We did indeed. Gary's 4th at the minute. He's back into the pit. So the way the Pro works, the way the system works for GT3s, we all know this by now. If you're new, you may not know this. So let's run it through. GT3s. 10-minute qualifying with a 20-minute practice followed by a 10-minute qualifying. We then go into a half-an-hour race stint, which is set over laps. So tonight is 20 laps. Is around about the half-an-hour distance the race should take. You might start that last lap just before the half-an-hour mark, which makes it the 20. We then go into the second race with a second qualifying, a 10-minute qualifying, where, because there's 15 drivers, the top 7 cannot qualify for the second race of the evening. And then it will go on into the second 20-lap race. It's live weather, so whatever the weather was doing at the Red Bull Ring today at 12, 1, 2 and 3, that is the times of this date. I'm not going to say live what it is. We'll just have to speculate. If the drivers haven't looked, oh dear. I mean, all right, it's not going to rain, so not oh dear in that way. But you've always got to keep one eye on that weather when you're racing here, haven't you, Maz?
Oh, you always have, haven't you? 'Cause if you're not paying attention, or you might be busy, understandable, you're just going to be chucked into it deep end, and yeah, you never know. It could rain halfway through the race, so and you'd be like, oh crap. So yeah, it's definitely interesting. But I'm sure you guys watching and us in the commentary booth and them guys racing, you're in for an interesting night.
Yeah, we are in for an interesting night. 19 people watching. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on the stream. Let's get this video to as many likes as possible. Don't forget to share it around as we go into Season 5. And like we say, Sunday night, join Dan live in the commentary box once again for F1 2021. We want to wish Falguest the best of luck with his move to Australia. It's a shame he had to pull out of F1 and the GT3 Pro-Ams, and I think World Endurance as well. That is a shame, but it is... we wish him the best of luck for his move to Australia. But join Dan live Sunday night, 7 p.m. GMT for the Formula One second round of the season at Sakhir, Bahrain. Night race normally at Bahrain, so that one's going to be interesting. And I'm going to be sure to make sure that not only Floyd stays behind me and doesn't get in front of me again, because he was tricky to get past last time, but also Mazda doesn't get ahead of me. And it's going to be a fascinating race. Make sure you tune in with Dan live on Sunday night for that one. 2 minutes 52 seconds left then of this first practice session, and already the BMW showing what they're capable of. And Disco this year, Maz, the thing for Disco is
mate. Look at that time from the remaining champ. That is very close. He's taking the fight to BMW.
He is really putting the fight to the BMWs. And look at the top 15 now. 1.5 seconds separate the top 15 drivers. The Pro is going to be difficult this season. As Little Each just goes above Argent, I saw there. Dan is purple sector 1 this lap, but I don't know if that's true or not, because I've only just loaded the app up on my phone.
Up.
The thing to notice, Master Disco this season on the wheel, not the pad. So he's having a season on the wheel. So maybe a bit more consistency from Disco this season. Dan's coming around the final corner. Purple and green on my sector times on the phone. Oh, bit of a slide there. Maybe just running the track limits, which are a key to watch here tonight. Track limits. We hope the drivers don't exceed them, because the admins will have to take a look at that. And did he lose all that time in the final sector? Yeah, maybe so. Peaceful's just gone back up to 6th, and it puts the top 6 now 0.6 of a second off the pole. And this, Mazda, is why we love to come racing, because this is tight.
Oh, it certainly is, isn't it? It certainly is, and I am looking forward to qualifying, because you think qualifying, you may, lower the fuel and just go for a one-lap wonder, and you never know. The guy in 15th could go pole. I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but it's just one of them things you just don't know. How quick these guys have got, it's unreal. It really is. It
really is unreal. And what we are seeing here is some quality laps from quality drivers. And when we said the Pro's going to be harder this year, we wasn't kidding. Monkey Boy down in 15th pace in practice has had some serious lap times and some serious pace. That doesn't reflect what he's had. So there's time to come. There's Laura in the chat. Evening all, Go Fury. Evening, Laura. And PM Motorsport as well. Will the second Ferrari turn up? Find out on Sunday. That is the question. Will more of the drivers turn up? We hope so, because we want to see a full grid next week for sure.
We certainly do, don't we? Because I bet that was interesting, weren't it?
What?
I've just gone blank.
Yeah.
My mind's just gone blank. Oh, we have a Ferrari stop. Well, it's only practice, isn't it? 28 seconds remaining, so... And that is not a bad time for everybody, is it?
The question is can Dan and Andy replicate this pace in the qualifying session?
I think they will. I think they will, mate. Whoa, you would have thought so. And look who's there. Gary Forth in that Porsche.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's knocking on the heels of them.
He is. He's right on the back door, asking to be let in, as that is Andy round, and War manages to get out of the way of Gary 131 as Gary coming round to complete what will be his final run. Argent done, BT Targa done, Disco done. You'd imagine Andy would be done. Dixie in the chat, I know something else that's tight. Very funny. Happy birthday, Tony, says Disco. And tight, says Disco. The other thing is, as well, let's not forget pit stops. Mandatory pit stop has to be made, which I forgot about. Lap 4 to 14 is the pit window, so you have to pit after lap 4. You have to pit before lap 14. You can pit before, you can pit after if you need to. But to have your pit stop registered, you have to pit in the window of 4 to 14. I know myself, I jot it down every week. The Toy Story notebook is still not yet full. And it's going to take longer to fill up now with the fact that I'm not having to write on Pro-Am anymore, because obviously I'm now there racing it. So it's going to be interesting. Andy's in the pits. Dan Slout on track. Here's Fury looking a little slow down the back straight at the moment.
We have a Porsche, so Gary.
Yeah, there's Gary. Gary might be done. Yeah.
Just like I
think the last car's coming to the line now. Who's going to cross the line? And that is practice over then. And the quickest person in the practice was Andy, but by 600ths of a second. Can he get the pole position?
Sector 2 time though, to Dan.
Mega. Can he get the pole position that will give him the all-time most pole positions here at Simplane Motorsport?
Maybe. We will find. Stay tuned to find out.
Yeah, whoever's got the ready up button, we need. Gary, evening all. Best to all the pro drivers and many happy returns to Matt up to the comms box. Thank you, Gary, for the kind words. Smithy, evening Fury's mum. And thanks for all the birthday wishes, says Fury's granddad. Come on, Gary 131, let's go. Whoever is the host of the lobby, we need you to press ready up. As I can't, because it should give it me back for the race at least. Anyway, so let's hope for a cracking Season 5 and let's go Leach Motorsport. Indeed, Gary, though, we are ready for qualifying here, Maz. And Disco, that's not the... Was that a bit of lag as he came out? Did he actually hit the wall? I'm not sure. That's another...
Look, the car's is slight... Oh, no, I don't know, actually.
Well, that was a bit jumpy there on my screen. I don't know about yours.
Yeah,
but it all seems fine now, so... Not sure what happened there, but either way, they're all away. They're all out on the track, Maz. Who's your tip for pole?
I'm going to say Andy.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go Andy as well. I think the BMW's just got that edge round here.
Yeah.
Question is, as I step away to get my charger, who is your tip for the race win?
That's a tough one because, like we said, you know, it's anybody's call. I'm going to say Dan. I know for dubs.
You think he's got the better art in that racecraft?
Yeah. I wouldn't. You can't say better racecraft. It's just. You know, with these colder temperatures, you know, have they worked on the setup right? Because 20 laps is a long race, really.
Oh, it is a long race.
So, you know, like we found out yesterday, some people's tyres went off, so, you know, I think if you can just, like I say, just keep it on the track and be consistent, you'll be up there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's a hard one to call.
I ran at low 30s to high 29s all race yesterday, and I couldn't have been any more consistent than that. And that was still a push. Do you know what I mean? So these boys have got to be on it. Fingers crossed for Peaceful and Monkey Boy in new cars this season, says Peaceful Stepdad in the chat. Indeed, they are. Let's go on board Andy. Let's go onto the roof cam and see a lap of Andy. And as he just comes through turn 1 and up the hill now to what many people class as turn 3. I choose to class it as turn 2 because it's not a real corner from here or there. It's the little curb that he goes over out the exit to turn 1. He's classed as turn 2. So into turn 2 now. On the brakes, down to first, just clip the apex. Do not touch that sausage. Now, use as much as the exit. Don't forget, track limits are 2 wheels on the curb. So he could go all the way over. As long as 2 wheels are on that curb, he is fine. Andy, down the hill now, stays well to the left. Where's your braking marker? 100 metres. Hit the brakes now into the right-hander. Again, just glance the apex. Don't get greedy on the throttle through that corner. Easy to lose the rear end and send the car round. Mays has gone back to the pits. 50 metre mark. Hit them brakes. Down a gear. Don't want to touch this curb here. Andy, though, flirting with it. All over the top of it. 2 wheels over the curb. Stay as far right as you dare. Laid on the brakes. Down 1 gear. Again, try and stay off that curb. Run as much as this one as you can. And out to the left-hand side you go for the best possible run down to the penultimate corner. And as he comes round now, what kind of lap time is he going to be setting? His sector time it's just green from everybody at the minute. So nobody really said in a purple sector. 2 wheels on the curb there, nicely done. Through the last corner as well. Easy to run so wide there. Andy's going to cross the line and set the first representative lap time. And it's going to be a 1:28.4. That is a statement early doors, Mazda.
He's done, mate. I think you need to be watching and you got
Yeah, Andy returns to the pits, and if there is anybody to put a lap time on pole, it's the man who's going for the record himself. Where he's down on track, he's done a 28.2. He's some 7/10 off the back of Andy. Andy, though, setting some serious pace. Where's the new boy KLF, the Pro-Am runner-up? Where is he on track at the moment? Just coming through the middle sector.
Traffic.
Yeah, not yet a lap time in. That is Emo Guy, and one of the other McLarens. Is that his teammate? I think it is. I think it is Sooty. It is. So Sooty, Emo Guy, Kelly, Mays yet to set a lap time, but no one has got within half a second of Andy at the minute. Andy flying so far. And that was a heck of a opening lap time.
Certainly was, wasn't it? It certainly was. Let's see what this guy can do, Sooty.
Yeah, can he put it on pole? Mays has only just come back out the pits, and Mays then struggling maybe to get the car around, and that's not a good sign early doors. Monkey Boy's back in the pits as well. Sooty across the line goes P4. Emo Guy only goes 12th, and Kelly only goes 13th. So Mays not yet got a lap time in, and we're halfway through the session. Where, though, is Dan? Because he was purple sector 1, green sector 2. So Dan on a charge as he comes into the penultimate corner. Down towards the final corner now. Can he get anything done here? Is Dan set for a pole? A few cars back in front as well, changing their lap times. Argent's just gone up to 6th. That's a heck of a lap time from Argent. But here comes Dan. And he only improves by 200ths of a second. So all that work in sector 1 undone. X-Mart into the pits. Peaceful goes P4. Gary, purple sector 1, green sector 2. So where is the 2-time champ coming up to the final corner? Is this anything for pole position for Gary 131? Can he make his mark this season? Little each to cross the line. Does he improve? He goes second. What about the 2-time champ?
Where's he going?
P2, half a second off the back of Andy now, and the Leach Motorsport boys are back from their Renault days.
Certainly, it's good to see you. See what I mean? Look. 1 lap can put you from last
right up there. Where's Mays? Right. Mays not yet done a lap, Mazda.
Let's have a find out and see why.
Oh, slow. So is he creating a gap? Oh, that is a McLaren. That, I think, is KLF all over the track limits there. And Mays now maybe setting himself up for a run. Was that Kelly behind him?
Yes,
it was, yes, and he improved 2.8 seconds, stays 14th, but all over the track limits. He's got to make sure he keeps that one in check, and track limits there as well. Yes, Sooty Apex! Wow, Sooty Apex P2! Disco's purple sector 1 on my timing screens. He's green in sector 2. They're all improving sector 1. Disco McDisco face. Has he got enough for the pole? Where is he at the minute? He's P6, 7/10 off the back of his teammate. Crosses the line, no improvement. And a Ferrari crosses just behind. Peaceful now goes 6th. And I think that was Dan just behind Peaceful. Dan down in 5th.
Do you know what I mean? It can all change. One lap. That's all you need. I keep going on about it, but like you say, you just chuck. You know, some people like a heavier car, some people like a lighter car, and you just don't know, do you, what they're running, but one lap can change it all.
It really can. Andy's on a lap at the moment. Gary's gone back second. The gap now down just under 0.4 of a second. Andy's on a lap at the moment. He's gone through the middle sector. He's at the final corner now. He's going to get a bit of a toe off the Leach Motorsport car of Little Leach. Will that help as he comes towards the line? Little Leach on an out lap. What can Andy extract from this Beamer this time around? No improvement there. Does he go for another run? No, he's backed out of it. That is Argent coming out of the pits. Argent going quite well in 9th place at the moment. Where's Dan, though? P5.
I am surprised at that. I really am.
Peaceful.
Argent's gone 10th
Oh, no,
now.
sorry. Sutty's gone green, middle sector. Personal best. He's gone back to the pits, though. Peaceful is green and green, middle sector and first sector. So is this a personal best lap for him?
And
He's
pulling
got
down
unorthodox in the toe. But this is not really doing a lot for unorthodox. Green sector 1, nothing sector 2, just within the track limits there. There goes Disco in front of Peaceful. Is Disco going to improve on P7? Yes, goes P5. What about Peaceful? Does it? Dan goes second. Dan goes within 500ths of Andy. Game on for Paul.
That toe might have just been what he needed.
The question is he too close to Peaceful this lap? There's a car just exited the pits. Has he got time to get around? Sutty is done. Peaceful's letting Dan go.
And he was
Disco!
up.
Disco! Purple sector 1. He's just in front of Dan, and here's purple sector 1. He's down in 6th at the minute. Is this going to give him any time, any chance? Little Each green in the middle sector. Who's coming to the end of their lap now? I'm not quite sure. I wait for the timing screen. They're going to get one last lap in, and I think that was Fury. Let's go to Little Each. Right, it was Little Each who went through turn 1 then. I can't see who's behind him, so we'll leave that. Let's go back to Disco.
Where is he there?
Disco was purple and then green middle sector. A flash of the lights. Is that for the car in front? Or is that because he knows we're listening?
But we're coming.
Oh, he's backed out of it! Wow! Who's that coming down the straight? I think is that Andy coming down the start straight. Where's Dan? Dan was just behind Disco. Dan's down. Dan's done.
Dan's got it.
So Peaceful, where's Peaceful? Can he get one more lap in? He can. Who's that just behind him? That is Maze. So Maze will be the last car to finish a lap. Who's just gone through sector 2? I think Fury. Fury on a better lap. Let's go to Fury. I think that's Fury coming up to the final corner. It is. So here comes Fury then. And then we'll jump back to BT Targa. Fury stays 9th. BT's in the pit. Let's try and figure out who the next car is. Is it Little Each, I do believe?
He's in the pit.
He's done. Right. What about... It's not Gary, so it's in front of Gary. It's not Andy. It's not Peaceful. It's got to be down the back. Is it Kelly? It's not Monkey Boy. We'll stick with Argent. We'll keep with Argent. Who's in front of him? It's Emo Guy. Can Emo Guy improve on P14? Just in front of Argent. Can Argent improve on P12? Here comes Emo Guy. No improvement. Argent, no improvement. Who's just behind them? It was a McLaren. Didn't see anybody's name change there. Where's Peaceful? Peaceful coming right. That's Monkey Boy, sorry, coming out the final corner. We'll stay with Peaceful Explosion.
Sorry, I am trying to...
No, it's fine. We'll stay. Monkey Boy goes 11th at the end. We'll stay with Peaceful. One car to cross the line at the end. We don't know who that is, but there was no change on the leaderboard. But Andy here, is he set to take the record? That's Maze Gamer in the background. Can Peaceful get any higher than 7th? No. What about Maze? Goes P8 at the end.
Yeah. Yep.
No, went P5 at the end. Maze Gamer goes P5, so Andy is on pole from Dan in second place. Disco is down in 7th. What a poor qualifying for him. BT Targa 10th. But look at the gaps, barely anything in it. Xmart, he's a bit lower. He's down in 12th. Gary up in 3rd. Little Leech is 6th. The Leechy Motorsport boys are back. Peaceful drops to 8th. Monkey Boy is down in 11th place. Sooty Apex, great qualifying in 4th. His teammate Kelly, 15th. Argent was 13th. Who's next? Maze Gamer got to 5th in the end. Fury in his Mercedes 9th, and Emo Guy down in P14. And that then gives Andy the most pole positions of all time here at Simplay Motorsport. He's starting as he means to go on. What also it gives him, Adam, is the first point of the season.
Well, that was a... I don't know what to say, because that was a very interesting... Very interesting.
Dan, goddamn, so close. Spin in the middle sector. Screwed my flyer, says Disco. Sorry, Peaceful, says Dan. So tight this year. I screwed my flyer, I should say. Peaceful just saying no problem to Dan. Yeah, so them 3 drivers all admitting how tight it is out there.
And that's what you want, isn't it, from 15 drivers, because I know D Biggs couldn't be here. See, look, D Biggs is another quick driver, teammate of Dan, so you just don't know what he could have done. Do you know what I mean? This season is so close from all the drivers. It's yeah.
Come on, Gary and Little Leech, says Smithy in the chat. Sorry.
And we know this is a BMW track. Yeah, I know Dan was that close, but you know, every time we've been here, then BMWs have just has that edge over every car.
It really does, doesn't it?
But how is their race pace? We do not know. We'll find out.
Yeah, this is the one we need to keep an eye on now. What is their race pace like? What is their overall pace going to be? This is the biggest question as we head into this first of 20 laps. We're at the first of 24 races this season, and the first of 20 laps this season as well. The lights are on though. The revs rise. We're go here for season 5 in the Pro, and Andy gets a great start. My money on May seems decent, says Mansouri in the chat. Gary also with a flyer, looking to go around the outside, and the 2-time champions are side by side. And is Gary going to get the edge on the McLaren? They're still neck and neck. Dan and Gary up towards turn 2. They're side by side, wheel to wheel. 2 times champ versus 2 times champ. Who's going to get the third first? That's the question. Dan up the inside. Here comes Maze, and Dan has to avoid Maze Gamer. Gary though escapes it there. They're still battling. They're still together wheel to wheel. They're pushing and pushing and pushing. Sutty's 4th. Gary, does he have that car just in front as they come down towards turn 3? He does. He's into 2nd, and Sooty now having a look. Maze Gamer with a wild send into turn 2, losing out massively. He's now side by side with Sooty. Can Sooty keep it up the inside? The turn 4 just about, but Maze I think has done enough around the outside to keep that car going. Yes, he has. And here though comes Disco. Where's Peaceful? He's 8th, not really lost a lot. Little Each was the real loser, down to 15th. What a start, Maz.
It got close when Maze Gamer was just sent in the inside, and luckily no one was able to touch him, and like you say, got away cleanly. And
the 2-time champs side by side for 3 corners. This is what it's going to be this season. They all come through a pretty clean lap 1. Andy though unscathed, but now has the Porsche behind him. Can the former 2-time champ do the business? He's back in his main car and has his biggest rival on the back of him. Sooty's lost out to Disco as well a little earlier in this race. Wow, Kelly track limits in the background, wild there. Argent up tonight. Dan though coming back at Gary on the outside, and is he going to have that done into turn 2? I don't think so. Gary, the wise old man, I say old, I don't mean old in that way, I mean very experienced, manages to keep Dan to the outside. Sooty as well, with Fury all over the back of that McLaren at the minute. Dan though looking to squeeze up the inside at 3. Wow, late on the brakes. Can he get it stopped? Just about. And Gary has to slow it down, but what an opportunistic move from Dan. What a manoeuvre.
Oh yes, that was... Well, like you say, we was in practice with that, and he was catching me and you out in the brakes when we were braking that early, and it looks like he had to do something to get past Gary.
Gary though. Oh, a wiggle! Oh, a huge wiggle mid-corner. Gary loses momentum. May should get Gary, and he does round the outside. And Gary though needs to get back on it. He looks like in the toe. He's got the pace, but he just had a wiggle mid-chicane. Luckily, no contact made by anybody. But so far, look at the three in the background. Disco, Sutty up the inside. Oh, and Disco and Sutty have touched, and Fury involved as well. And you have to say that move was never on from Sutty.
No, it looked like he was trying. So, I mean, I was a bit too far in the fast corner though to do a Sutty send it. I don't think it was on, like you said.
A flash of the lights from Fury to Peaceful. He now wants to get back through. Gary's got a clear Maze gamer. Dan can hunt down his rival of last season in Andy, but he's got to have Gary and Maze on the back of him, breathing down his neck. Peaceful, though, good job in P6. His problem's been consistency in terms of keeping that Mercedes going. He's back in a Ferrari now that looks planted. We've seen in testing. Sutty now, head down. He's got to get Argent. He's got to clear his mind and get back in front of these cars in front of him. Argent doing a mega job in P8 on the back of his old teammate, an old title challenger, late on the brakes, loses the rear, Argent round, Sutty nowhere to go, and a tap was inevitable, and there's a few cars now. That is BT Targa and Emo Guy who get past. Can KLF and Exmor? We know there's been ding-dongs between Argent and KLF. They're side by side again here. It could go wrong. It's not. It's gone better than Bathurst. Who's that? That's Disco.
Oh, you don't want to be facing that way, do you?
He clipped Emo Guy. I think Emo Guy had to avoid him and clipped Disco McDisco face there. What a shame for them two. Emo Guy round. Pit window is not yet open. Wow, what a start to this race. We didn't see what happened there. But here's Kelly's car. Oh, Argent's gone. He's round on his own. Kelly, massive track limits there. Needs to make sure that that's only the one for this race because the stewards will be watching. But I'm going to name his car. I can't remember. Torpedo Tallulah. Dan named his car before the stream. There's a reason behind it. I'm not going to get into the details, but Torpedo Tallulah, the man from Southampton.
That Monkey Boy's struggling a bit, isn't he?
Can he get this job done? Monkey Boy is struggling in that Ferrari. Can he get the job done, though?
Looks like. I want to see who's close, that's all.
Out front, Gary's got back ahead of Maze, so that is job done in terms of that position. Gary lapped quicker than Dan on the last lap as well by 0.02 of a second. The pit window is now open, so drivers can pit as from this lap. They've got till the end of lap 14 though.
Well, Gary was faster than Dan. Not Dan, we already know that.
Andy, yeah, by a second.
So, yeah. But then again, is Andy just thinking,
nice and easy.
A little gap. I don't need to push just yet. I can just keep it.
Yeah, this is the problem. And how many times did people tell Argent not to drive that Merc? It's not consistent enough for you. You need a more consistent car in the Pro. Is that his season in a nutshell right there already? Losing the rear.
Nah. Possibly, yeah. He should, but...
Is that too much GTA 5? Is that not enough? Is that not enough laps in the bag? Peaceful. Gary, the first man to pull the trigger. He's going for the undercut. And let me tell you from knowledge, I was a second and a half behind Laney yesterday. The undercut works.
BT's in the pit.
The undercut works, Maz. Let me tell you.
I've just heard it because it tells me when people are close, and Dan is now under a second. He's just gone over a second. He's under a second to Andy.
Yeah,
so
he's going. Gary, Monkey Boy, BT, Emo, Disco. Their pit stops are done. They do not need to pit again. You do not have to manually change tyres. You are free to do what you want in the pit. Undercut strong here. Is that what Gary's thinking? Now, Dan on Andy. Andy just on the grass a little bit there. This is going to become the widest M6 you've ever seen. What about the news of Valentino Rossi today? We'll get into that in Q2, Mazda, if we have a chance a little later on.
I'm sure we will, but...
Because, or when there's a little lull in the race, we'll get back to that. Dan, track limits there. Got to keep an eye on these drivers.
And that's why I like this view, because you watch from trackside, and it, like this last corner here, you always think, oh...
You see, this one sort of pans down to this bit, yeah? He's just within the limits there, and he's just on the limits there. So these boys
I
have.
was screaming.
Well, these boys have got. Well, the interesting thing is Ben Parkey came into Pro-Am last night, and his race one, he did 11 laps, retired because his tyres had gone. Peaceful's in the pits, as is Fury. Wow, Andy, big track limit.
Yeah, I think his tyres are struggling. I really do, because that beam is normally quick round here. So
Mays, the first penalty of the season. 10 seconds for speeding in the pits. What a shame.
certainly is, but hey.
Rules are rules, and you've got to follow them. And well, that's the in-game rule, not ours. That's giving him at least a minimum of 10 seconds for speeding in the pits. Peaceful, Fury, Littlich, Mays, all in. And
Look at this.
Peaceful's jumped Gary. Peaceful's out the pits before Gary 131. Dan tucking underneath the BMW, and they touch a slight little bit, and Dan's got it done. He leads this race.
What a move. He saw the BMW struggling to that corner, and he's just got the better grip, and yeah, it's like, thank you very much.
On the underside, Dan gets the job done, but bigger news, Mazda. Drop back to Mike, because he's jumped Gary 131 in the pits.
What a pit stop from the Ferrari team. We know they're quick, but didn't know that they were this quick to jump the Porsche.
What a stop from him. Can, though, he get back on it? Let's cut back to the front. Andy within 4/10. Got to be looking for a move, hasn't he?
Oh yes, you would have thought so. Into turn one, maybe, or set himself up to get a good exit down the straight to the second corner. Who knows? We'll find out.
Yeah, we will find out, and we will find out shortly as well. Andy will be looking to get back on him. Sutty's in.
To a better look. I don't know. I think that is going to be a big send if he's going to make a move.
In the slipstream, though, that's the biggest thing for him, isn't it? In the slipstream, KLF on the podium at the minute. Father and son on the podium, as it was for me and Floyd on Sunday. How long will that last? We'll wait and see. But Dan here looks like he's got the measure. He was some 1.2 seconds quicker last lap than Andy. Does Dan have that car set up? Does Andy's car go through sort of like a mid-face lull? This will be the question we'll wait to see.
It could be. You never know. Gary again, getting ever so close on Peaceful.
He is. They've got past Fury and Sutty and X-Mart in the pits then. And KLF now some 13 seconds. To undercut the driver, you need to be within 30 seconds of that guy to get an undercut and get it done well. Gary and Peaceful just over the 30-second mark to the two leaders. And if they start battling, these two could be in with a shout of an undercut.
Now, wouldn't that be a good call for them two?
You think about it, Kelly's got a pit. Peaceful's currently running P3, net P3.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
Nice to see Gary back in the Porsche.
But with Gary driving on, I think Gary could, you know. But again, we haven't seen a Ferrari perform this well, because remember Dan and Fury did drive the Ferrari and they did not like it, and yeah.
Peaceful's a man who sets the car up very nicely, I must admit. I love his Mercedes setups. Gone to the Ferrari, you have to say, a more stable option for him this year in terms of getting that job done. Kelly now comes in at the end of lap 7.
Yep.
So this will put these two back on the podium. And Dan...
They were...
Oh, the timing screen's just gone down to 4 seconds up to 8/10, from 4/10 to 8/10. So I don't know if Andy had caught back up to Dan. Who's this? Maze Gamer on the back of Exmart, and Maze Gamer's got a penalty. We believe 10 seconds. This will drop him down behind Monkey Boy at this moment in time.
Yeah, well, you know, we do say, you know, you've got to practice that pit entrance, because if you, like you see Maze Gamer, if you don't get it right, you're getting a penalty.
Oh, big track limits there from Exmart. And the Red Bull Ring pit entry, Maz, is right at the bottom of the hill. So very easy to outbrake yourself and just slide into the pits carrying the speed.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Peaceful, quicker than the two leaders, as was Gary last time around. On board Little Iso, just behind BT Targa, coming into turn 2.
What's happened?
What has happened?
What has happened?
What?
Wow.
Well, what has happened here? Dan's not pitting. Has Dan made a mistake? Because Andy's some 3.94 seconds in the lead here.
Wow, I am shocked.
Well, what happened there, Maz? He's not pitted either, so he must have been after the pit lane.
It's got to be on it.
Has to be. Otherwise, you'd have thought he'd have gone in and got his pit stop out of the way. But that could lead to an undercut for Gary and Peaceful. Is Andy now sitting in a winning position here? Andy again, Peaceful again, quicker than the leaders. This race is on for Peaceful, I think.
Peaceful all Gary, with Gary breathing down him.
How's his nerve? He's not been used to running this high up. He's probably getting a nosebleed sat in his cold attic in Manchester. How is his nerve at this moment in time?
Well, like I say, we've seen his pace in that Ferrari.
Yeah.
But hey, we'll just keep quiet now.
Pace is one thing, though, isn't it? Pace is one thing. We've said he's not been this high up the order for a while. How would your nerves be racing, fully focused at the moment?
You'll have to be, won't you?
Not thinking too much about it?
But it's not just that though, is he? He has got a 2-time champion behind him.
Yeah.
And
he's not now! He's not now! Gary's lost the rear on his own. Lights up the rears to get going. Sooty Apex, I guarantee will be chuckling to himself.
There you go, look, Sooty. Thank you very much, Gary. You can go behind me. X-Mark getting very close now.
He is indeed. Gary then needs to get back in front of Sooty Apex here and get back in front of Sooty Apex as quick as possible at the moment. And that gives Peaceful then some breathing space. And it's nice to see Sooty back up there as well as Peaceful Explosion. Very nice to see some of the old drivers back up there.
Yeah, it is. And like you say, he had that, unfortunate for that crash. He had nowhere to go. And look, it just shows you if you've got the pace in the car and you just keep it clean. After a while, you will.
Wow, Maze, come on. There's some track limits tonight, isn't there?
Yeah, I can see another warning between.
Yeah, little each there as well. I think drivers may have to get. I think it could be a night for drivers' warnings in terms of general. First warning, first strike. Yeah. Second strike and you're out, sort of thing. The penalty coming now. Peaceful quicker than Andy by a 10th. Dan, the quickest man of the three leaders last lap. But Peaceful, I think, could still be in for an undercut here. Wow, Monkey Boy, that's wide.
Yeah, he is wide, isn't he, in the background.
23 people currently watching the stream. There's 14 likes on the stream. There's 17 likes on the stream. Guys, girls, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new.
Maze has had a little spin.
Yes, has he had X-Mark with him? He has, yeah.
Andy's in the pits.
Andy and Dan.
So on this guy now, can he jump on both?
That's everybody who's pitted. Now, load the track map so we can see when their dots are moving. Can Peaceful take the lead of this race? One dot is away. Or is that one dot coming in? No. So Dan's in. Andy takes back the lead. He's in the pits. I think Andy from this position has done enough. Keep it on Dan. Keep it on Dan. Where's the yellow Ferrari?
Last corner.
There's the yellow Ferrari. Is he going to get Dan done? Andy looks like he's going to maintain the lead of this race. But here comes Peaceful. Dan's off the limiter. Peaceful's at full speed. Who's going to take second place? Has Dan just done enough? I think he has done enough. Peaceful, though, can smell blood. He can smell blood. And a flash of the lights. Let's not excessively flash. I've been told about this. Let's flash within reason, Mike. But second place, race win maybe, in the bag. Potentially. I'm glad to be back in the comms block. I have missed this.
I can tell, mate. I can tell. But it's also nice, isn't it, to have a break from the comms and be in the car and race.
Oh, so nice Sunday night and last night to be in the car, obviously. It was nice to chat with Gary and race you on the F1. It was nice to then chat with Clive and Bryn in the chat last night and race with them guys. It was brilliant, Laney and BT and Ben Parkey. Great to race them. Gary trying to pass Sooty on the grass. Wow, that was risky from Gary. Where's Kelly? Down in 12th. Argent last and some 6 seconds behind Disco McDisco Face. Who have we not been on much tonight? I don't think we've seen much of Emo Guy tonight.
No, we haven't, have we?
Kind of in no man's land at the minute.
Him, Disco and Argent all in no man's land. Although, Argent had great timing for a pass.
Yeah, Argent's just got past Disco. Disco, they're going to look back up the inside at turn 2. Naughty, but a bit of 50-50. Did Argent turn in and not give him the room? Maybe. You know, you keep a wider line through there for cars up your inside, don't you? But, yeah.
Yeah, you do, because that corner's also been like camber a bit, and you know if you
Yes.
overshoot it, the back end goes really light, and
And it does in the Mercedes especially.
oh, it does.
So the fact
is a
that-
hard car.
The fact that Kieran turned in and tried to maybe make the apex there kind of surprised me. You'd probably be getting a better run, keeping that bit wider. Kieran getting a bit closer to Disco there. The question is can Dan get to Andy? 4.2 the gap, so Andy's extended his gap. But how close was Peaceful? Here's Monkey Boy. Who's he on the back of? That's Maze Gamer. Monkey Boy was on the back of there. Was that for... Well, Maze here, 10-second penalty, could finish behind Kelly.
Possibly, yeah, he will.
That's if Mace Gamer does have 10 seconds. Andy then, 4.2 ahead of Dan. He's got some 1.5 seconds back to Peaceful Explosion, who's got a fair amount of time back to Sutty, because Sutty, Gary's had another wiggle through the chicane, Mazda.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that, but you know how good Gary is at catching them.
Yeah, let's just drop back to Maze and Monkey Boy, because they're pretty close. Where are they? They're at the chicane at the minute. Look, there's Maze, there's Monkey. The other Ferrari trying to get a top 10. Top 7 cannot qualify for this race as 15 drivers started.
That's some big well, no, there is some big names in the bottom half, isn't there?
Mace is round. He's lost the rear. He's round. And that's given Monkey Boy another spot. But not only that, Kelly will be coming there. Kelly is. But if Disco's now within at least 10 seconds of Maze, we think he's got a 10-second penalty. If he is within 10 seconds of Maze...
I don't think he is. I think he's just outside. Well, there's no one's in within a second of each other. It's just everybody's now just running their own race. Tell you who we haven't jumped on for a bit, Matt, and he's really got a little fan base. It's Fury. I don't know if Matt's there or not. I think he is. I don't know, guys. Sorry.
Apologies. Can you hear
there
me?
we go.
Yeah, apologies.
we
Yeah,
can now,
just
look.
move my leg and unplug the wire from the PlayStation for the microphone. But no, it'll be nice to hear from Fury. See Fury at Donington Park. Him and his mum. Obviously, a lot of talk of that in the off season. Evening, Laura. As Dan 3.5 off the back of Andy now, Mazda. Fury, nice to see him stay in the Mercedes because he had a solid season last year in that Merc, and it's great to see him stay in it again.
Yeah, it is, because you know when you're here in the car, he also wanted to drive. It was the Cadillac. That's a bold move.
Very. You know, it's a bit more braver than the Acura, I suppose.
Yeah, because you don't really see the Cadillac online anywhere, do you? Really?
No, not really. Now, has Mike had a bit of a moment? 131.9 last lap. He's just dropped a bit further off the back of Dan. Not close enough for Sutty to mount a challenge. Lap 14 of 20, so the last lap for people to complete the pit windows. In fact, now everybody's done their pit stop, so pit window shuts at the end of this lap. It doesn't mean drivers can't pit. It just means if they hadn't pitted already, they'd have to now. But Sutty, 4th, Peaceful 3rd. Who'd have thought that first race of the season?
You wouldn't, would you? You certainly wouldn't have thought that.
The question is Sutty on Disco at the final corner? Will that be looked at, maybe? Earlier in the race.
Maybe we'll see. You see, I don't know. I think that might.
It was a late lunge, wasn't it, from Sutty? We know he loves to send it.
Oh, look at track limits back there, boy.
Yeah.
Sure, you need to be a bit. Well, he probably just outbraked himself.
BT Target has just got past him because of that as well.
That's another funny corner, isn't it? You hit that curb, and that curb can just sometimes send you wide.
And the outside curb as well kind of pulls you in. So it is very tricky to get that last corner right. Lidleek's trying to get on the back of these two as well, but Fury down to P7 now. BT Target up to 6th. Dan, though, 4 tenths quicker than Andy again on the last lap, Mazda. So he's coming. Has he got time to gain 3 seconds?
5 laps to go. It's a hard one. Well, it's going down quite fast, isn't it? He's only 2.6 behind. Well, it's going back up 2.8, but yeah. But look at this. Look, the Merc is not outpulling the McLaren.
No, and the McLaren holding its own against the Merc around here at the moment. Kind of a bit of a all-round track. There is straights for the Merc to use its outright power, but the corners, you have to say, in the winter as well, the McLaren is going to be the stronger car. And evening, Matt, yes, hopefully we'll be at Donington.
Oh, no.
Oh, BT's lost it.
Just dropped it.
On his own as well. Wow, into the wall and facing backwards.
That could be damage.
Little Leach X-Smart Monkey Boy. You'd imagine are going to gain a place. Oh, where's Monkey? Just hitting the brakes. BT stays on the grass. So well done, BT Targa there, except for one moment I thought he was going to rejoin the track. But he managed to keep out of trouble, and BT drops down to 10th.
Gary has.
Oh, he has. He's losing out to Fury, Maz.
Wow.
So people starting to struggle maybe. The gap out front is down to 2 seconds. So has Andy made a mistake? Are tyres going off?
Well, look, Andy's doing 1 minute 30 and Dan's on a 1:29.3, so he's pulling the time.
Game on. 4 laps to go. Does Dan have enough time to get this job done? That is the question.
Certainly is. Little Leach could now do BT.
Can Little Leach get past BT Targa? Little Leach must have dropped it because he was ahead of X-Mart and Monkey Boy, so Little Leach must have had a mistake as well. So our tyres just starting to go off for a few cars here.
Possibly. But Gary looks like to be within a second of Fury.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on this as the evening develops. Gary trying to get them back in front of Fury. Gary down to 6th now, whilst running second at one point. Dan 2.5. Andy has answered back. Yes, 4 tenths slower than Dan that last lap, but is 4 tenths not enough for Dan to catch and be on the back off by the end of this race and of this evening. Of this first race, yeah, I think that's just ebbing and flowing because of the way they're coming through the corners. Who's a lap down? I believe Argent is a lap down, and has Peaceful coming up to lap him at the moment. But Gary, look at this, within half a second, a bit of tow coming up the hill towards turn 2. Is he going to get close enough? I don't think so. I think Disco's now just being lapped as well. Has Disco had a moment? Because Kieran looks to be catching him as Kieran has done Peaceful Explosion. Yeah, Disco must have had a moment somewhere because Kieran's just behind and Peaceful is through as well. Oh, bit of tyre smoke there.
Oh, was that tyre smoke? Was that going onto the grass just on the exit?
Possibly. I was about to say, is that Dan? Is he lost it? But Dan's lapped him. This is BT Targa and Little Leach on the back of Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy now up to P8. Little Leach later on the brakes, gets it stopped and turned in. May's not far off the back of these, but Mays has that 10-second penalty to worry about. Emo Guy needs some 3 or 4 seconds to get within that 10-second limit. We believe it's 10 seconds anyway. It could be a bit more. Just in front of these is X-Mart. So if X-Mart makes a mistake, you'd imagine he's losing these places. Dan has the gap under 2 seconds, was some 7 tenths quicker last time around. Peaceful and Sutty matching each other lap for lap. That's 6 seconds between them two. Gary, though, still at half a second to Fury. Can he get this job done? Lap 18 of 20. We've got 3 to go in this first round of the season. Very interesting stuff going on here, Mazda. Very interesting tactical race by a few drivers. But we've seen Dan make a mistake already today. Is that how we believe Dan made the mistake, that we believe that's how Andy got back through. It shows he's human after all. Gary looking underneath Fury. Oh, on the rear! Taps the rear! They're both round. Fury's round. Gary's kept going. Oh, now then.
Nah, he's not happy. Look, the flash of the lights from pure Fury. I think that would be a 1 to the stewards. Not it. That would be going straight there.
Yes, I'm going to need you to save the replay of this because I had to save last night's replay. I'll have to delete them before we start service, so I'll need you to save this replay. But,
I think I've got room.
well, just try it. We'll just try it either way.
I know,
But
I can't wait.
Gary getting past Fury. But will the stewards be looking at that one then? He's not going to catch Sutty now. He's 10 seconds behind Sutty. Fury's still a couple of seconds ahead of Exmart. BT's got past Monkey Boy.
Battle. Yeah, is that?
Yeah, BT's got past Monkey, so Monkey down to 9th now. Little Each has dropped off the back of these two somewhat. Dan 3/10 quicker last time around. He's just not got the time, has he? Only 3/10 a lap. He's not got the time.
No. I don't think so. But then again, it's just to and fro, isn't it? So.
Peaceful 3rd, Sutty 4th, Gary 5th, Fury 6th, Exmart 7th. This is the battle for 8th and 9th, although they're catching BT Target's Team Prolapse teammate of Exmart.
Yeah, aren't they? So.
Have they got enough time? 2 to go then here. Dan has the gap down to 1.1. Is this game on for the McLaren?
Oh, well.
What do you do, Maz? Round 1, 1.2 the gap. Do you still go for it? Try and force a mistake out the BMW, or do you sit and take second place points? Oh, we've had a retirement. We've lost Disco. Now, I didn't see on what lap Disco retired, so chat, what lap did Disco retire? Please let me know. Because if it was after lap 15, he will score points. Disco, if you're there, what lap did you retire? But that is one retirement of the season. The admins lowered it. You're only allowed 3 retirements this season before you lose 25 points.
Well, I was going to say something. I completely. Oh, he's just. Nah, I think that was it. You push. You push every single lap. You go to the last. Well, last corner. Unless it's your teammate, and then that's when you don't push.
Now, Maze Game has got past Little Each, so Little Each losing out again, but within that 10 seconds. Kelly still within that 10 seconds of Maze Gamer as well. Can Kelly get past Little Each here? I'm not sure what's happening with my timing screens, but Little Each, nice ahead of Kelly. I'm not sure why it says 51 seconds. Either way, the two leaders are at turn 3. Coming round to 4. Kelly again, track limits. I think a warning needs to go out from both last night and tonight. Disco retired on lap 16, so he will score points, but has to be wary that 2 more retirements this season will see him lose 25 championship points. We're trying to encourage drivers to get to the end no matter what.
Who's Gary close to?
Gary is fighting with Fury once again here. And he's on the back of Kieran Argent. Yeah, that is BT Targa and Exmart. And Fury... Oh, stay a bit wider, Fury. There is. There, Kieran, right in the way, has to take to the grass to avoid these two who are side by side still. Fury tucks in behind. Gary can't get the move done. BT's got past his teammate Exmart in the background. Monkey Boy's not close enough. We've missed the race win. We've missed Andy, and Dan crossed the line. So Andy wins the race. Dan second. Let's go to Peaceful for third. Peaceful Explosion back on the podium for third place. Good job for him. It's going to be Sutty Apex who's going to take 4th place here. Don't forget, drivers cannot spin across the line, so that's 1 penalty point. Can Gary hold on for P5? Fury's going to make it hard. A bit of a bump up the rear from Fury to Gary. I think Gary is just going to hold on for that 5th place. Fury then is going to have to settle for 6th. Argent to lap down will take 14th. Here comes Exmart. What happened to BT? Because he's lost out to both Exmart and Monkey Boy. So Exmart 7th. Monkey Boy gets 8th. BT gets 9th. That is Maze Gamer 10th. Will Maze Gamer stay 10th? That's the big question. We wait for Kelly to cross. We wait for Little Each, to cross the line. Did Maze Gamer stay 10th? Yes, Maze Gamer 10th. Little Each will get 11th. Kelly and Sutty. Kelly gets 12th, and Sutty Apex. And who am I missing here? Who's 13th? Emo Guy is in 13th place. The fastest lap of the race. Maz, if you could try and save replay, I will as well. The fastest lap. Failed save media, so I can't do it. Yeah, no problem. Fastest lap of the race. 29.6 from Disco. 29.8 from BT. 29 dead from Dan. Dan then takes the fastest lap of the race and gets the...
I have got it. I've saved it. Matt, you've unplugged yourself, mate.
We're going to be right back in just a moment with the second race of the season. Don't forget the top 7. Exmart, Fury, Gary, Sutty, Peaceful, Dan and Andy cannot qualify for this one. We'll be back in just 2 minutes. Well, that...
Now that was interesting. Yep, I've got the video, don't worry. I'm going to check now. Yeah, I've got it. Whew. We can delete them two, so then I can save the next video. Matt sent me an invite.
Yes, Andy.
Yes.
Solid start. Congratulations on becoming the all-time leading pole sitter.
That's what he's happy about. You
Well
beat
done.
Jamie Bracey. That's what he cares
Tell you
about.
what, no, it's a bad record to have because I've only got about 7 wins or something like that. Compared to the polls, I've got absolutely a terrible conversion rate.
9 wins.
Oh mate, what was it, 18 polls?
20 polls, 9 wins.
Fucking hell, Maze.
They could.
45% conversion rate, come on. So bad.
Well done, Andy, mate. I fucked up too many times.
Cheers. Yeah, no, it was a good battle before. I mean, you had the
Yeah.
quicker pace than me in the first few laps.
Yeah, I think I overheated the tyres once I passed you, and I just dropped it in that corner that I got you, and it was just at that point my pressure had gone all over the place.
But the weird thing was, you were so quick through that corner every lap. You were so quick through the first sector, turn 2 and 3. You were quick, and then it was that one lap where you dropped it. But I think, mate, on the most part, that was the corner where you were gaining so much on me. Every lap, you'd gain 2 tenths in turn 2, 2 tenths in turn 3, and then the rest of the lap were even.
Yeah.
Rest of that were even, but every time you were gaining 2 tenths in those 2
Fucking
corners.
how close was quali, man? 500.
Mega close. And like, I don't know about the practice. Were you running high fuel? Well, you must have been running high fuel in practice. I think we both were. But then
Yeah, I was running high fuel.
What was with Maze at turn 2 when you and Gary were side by side?
Oh, don't. If I didn't have seen him, fucking me. If I hadn't have seen him, that was what I was worried about with him. Because he was just going to fucking lunge it, and he did. I basically saved me and Gary. I saved us. Because that scared the shit out of me. And then me and Gary actually had a good fight.
I saw you two behind me. You eventually cleared him. The gap was like at 2 seconds, and then the rest of
I
that
knew.
stint, he was making little gains.
I knew he would have the jump on me at the start, just because the way the Porsche starts, it's just a good start car. The McLaren's fucking shit off the line. But yeah, I just knew that I had to try and stick with you two as long as possible and avoid Maze. Fucking hell.
Tell you what, though, your pace around this track is so much quicker in the McLaren to what it was in the Porsche.
This is just Red Bull Ring. This is just this is my bogey circuit as well.
Yeah,
I'm loving this car.
The car's way quicker around here because, like, the Porsche last season. I mean, like, Disco and I walked it last season in race 1, and this one I had to fight so hard.
Was you worried about Mike after the pit stops?
A little bit.
Oh, I
could
was.
see the gap was 30 seconds. I was looking at it. I was keeping tabs on that one.
When I dropped it, I thought, oh shit, here we go. Peaceful's going to catch me out. And I've seen what he's done in that Ferrari as well, and I was like, fuck, he might actually nab me out the pits. But I just had enough.
I was starting to lose you up to the point where you dropped it. I was starting to worry because you had such pace at the front. Like, you've got the gap at, I think it was just under a second at the time when you lost it.
I was pushing too hard. I don't know
I was
why.
about to start pushing. At the moment that you lost it, I was about to start taking myself out of my comfort zone. Like, I was about to actually start pushing. And
You started struggling at the end a little bit, I noticed.
Yeah.
Gary's just texted me. He got 9 damage from when you had to avoid Maze. Like he said, nothing you could do, but it cost him in the pits. That's what made Peaceful undercut Gary.
Yeah, I didn't feel a contact. That's the thing. I didn't hit Gary. I didn't feel it.
No, it's what like he said, he's not putting it in. It's just one of them. Do you know what I mean? He knew you wasn't at fault, but that's what cost him getting undercut. And then he had a collision with Fury as well. Here he is. Dan, by the way, what was you saying about Ferrari being wank?
That's why I didn't want it to fucking pass me.
At first, and I thought, I'm not doing too bad behind you, and then I thought, I'm
you stuck
pushing
with
it
me,
to
man.
keep up with you. I thought I was pushing, though, and I thought, I'm going to fuck it up here, so I just started
To be
lifting.
fair, I was pushing it as well to stick with Andy, and you were sticking with us, man.
I thought, I'm not on that pace constantly, no chance, so I thought, I'm just going to back off a bit here.
Just before the pit stop,
yeah.
looking at me
no
peacefully.
points
Dude, we can
for
hear you in the
retiring.
stream. Shut up.
Yeah, cheers, buddy. I've just sorted it.
Jesus,
Cheers, man.
Shut up with it though. It was the
Cheers, bud. Fuck's sake.
Did you mute yourself again?
I forgot to hit the mute button so they've been able to hear everything we've just been saying. So that whole conversation about everything, everybody's been able to it. By the way, who's not got the testicles to call it the Tallulah Torpedo from Southampton? Or did he not click on?
What?
Did you? Are you in a party with Kelly?
Yeah, I am.
I did call him the man from Southampton. Right, we're live. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to Simplay Motorsport. What a start to the season. Absolutely dramatic, as always, here at the Red Bull Ring and here at Simplay Motorsport. But the top three are with us in the podium chat. And this is one man I don't think expected to see himself up here quite so early. But Peaceful, under the Simplay Racing stable now. And that is a cracking start to the change of car.
Yeah, definitely. I'll take that. I was very tiptoey coming out the blocks and around the pack to try and not get caught up on something. I think someone spun at turn 2. I think it was Gary or Craig. So I took my time getting around that. But yeah, quite a steady, flat, safe drive, really.
Now we go back to season 1. First race in the Mercedes, you won. Me and Andy called that one. First race in the Ferrari on the podium. Is it downhill from here, or is it much more of this for the rest of the season?
Rest of the season, this.
Title challenge?
I don't want to push it.
In all seriousness, though, that Ferrari looked a lot better for you tonight than what we saw in season 2 under the two-time champ's hands.
Yeah, it's it's a lot more stable for how me and Monkey drive it, and I had a snap going into turn 3, the hairpin.
Yeah.
And a big oversteer, and I managed to correct it quite quickly. The Merc, I'd have just buried it in the wall. So
what you're saying is, in your hands, the Ferrari's better than the two-time champ of unorthodox.
Well, we've seen what I did in the Merc to Dan when he was in the Ferrari at Daytona.
Drivers and screwdrivers, I suppose, Mike. But what can you do in race 2?
It depends where I start from, really. I started mid-pack last race, so anything's possible.
Well, best of luck, mate. We wish you the best luck for it.
Cheers.
And speaking of screwdrivers, it's the two-time pro champ unorthodox. Dan, that was a race of 2 halves for you. You had a great battle with Gary early doors, managed to then lunge on him and get second place. You then caught to Andy and had a good battle with Andy. And then it went a bit wrong for yourself. Explain what happened.
First things first, thanks, Matt, for not muting us before. So apologies for any of my language that anyone heard. So smooth, Matt. Nice and smooth.
You know me, mate. You know me. I've left it on mute for the last 2 times you've been streaming and I've been racing.
Every time I stream and commentate, you mute me, and every time we're not racing and we're in the party, you decide to unmute us. So smooth.
Smooth. It's going. Season 5 is going swimmingly.
It's going very well. I knew the McLaren was going to be slow off the line, and I just kind of had to just stick with Andy and Gary. I knew they would have a better start, but I wasn't expecting Mays to come flying down the inside like that, so that was a bit of a shock. But other than that, me and Gary had a good fight. It felt like we were already throwing punches at one another to get the 3rd title. After that point, I caught Andy, made one little error, and that kind of basically sealed the deal. I was trying to hunt him down towards the end, but I just ran out of laps and talent. You
say about throwing punches as well. I love the reference. Did you worry when Peaceful might have undercut you in the pits after you had your mistake?
Definitely so, considering he's in the Ferrari and I could not make that car work whatsoever. So the last thing I wanted is a Ferrari beating me at round 1. No, Peaceful, as most people know, all of us do a lot of practicing and work together in the off season, and we keep telling Peaceful to go in the Mercedes, and he's finally done so in the Ferrari, and it is showing what a driver he actually is. Once he's consistent, he is as quick as any of us, and he genuinely had me worried for second place, and he was sticking with me as well. So if I'd made one error, he was there, massive. I'm happy that he's got a podium, and happy that he's ditched a Mercedes.
Yeah, we've been like you said there. We've all been telling him for a while now, haven't we, to get rid of that Mercedes Benz, and he's tried a lot of cars in the off season. It's nice to see. What happened in your mistake though, Danks? We didn't catch it on stream. What actually happened?
So the same corner, turn 3, that I made the move on Andy, I just pushing too hard to try and extend the gap, and just dropped the rear and just avoided the wall ever so slightly, and that was enough for Andy to put away a 6-second gap.
At turn 3?
Turn 3, yeah.
That sounds very similar to what happened to me last night with Laney when I lost to Laney. That sounds exactly the same.
Yeah, it was just a silly error, me pushing too hard. I'd had the position, I just had to pit, and I just pushed the tyres too hard, and that was it, around she went, so it was daft.
Race 2 though, what can you do from wherever you start?
Stay out of carnage. This season is going to be a lot harder. Some really good, talented drivers, really good car choices as well this season. So it's all about surviving and not get involved in incidences, and probably just get in, get out, and just work our way through the pack.
Well done, Dan. We wish you the best luck for race 2.
Thank you, and well done, Andy and Peaceful.
Oh, are you a boy from Southampton or Cornwall?
I'm definitely Cornish.
Right, just double checking. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, no worries.
Yep,
No
cheers,
worries,
mate.
bye.
Yep, cheers, mate. And we've got Andy in. He's taken Jamie Brazier's record of the most pole positions at Simplay Motorsport. He'd love to convert at least more than the 9 race wins he's had compared to his 20 pole positions. But Andy, nonetheless, that was a mega drive from yourself.
Yeah, no, the conversion rate is atrocious. So ultimately, I'd like to, if possible, get more wins than poles this season, and maybe try and reverse that trend a little bit in more favour. But no, honestly, it was a good start to the season. I was pretty happy with that pole in qualifying by 0.05 of a second. Such close margins between myself and Dan. And then the race, he was a little bit quicker than me. So I'm going to have to try and figure out what that was all about and try and get on top of that for race 2. But I just got a bit lucky, made a mistake through turn 3 and capitalised on that. Came home and took the win.
Yeah, now we know the BMW is a fantastic car around the Red Bull Ring. It looked quite planted. Did you start to struggle mid-race on tyres? Because me and Mazda sort of saw a little errors, sort of missing apexes a little bit. Was the tyres struggling mid-race, or?
Yeah, I guess so. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a very cold track temperature, so it's quite tricky because the hard tyres do not work at these temperatures. So
Yeah.
it's a compromise. Obviously, you have to go for the soft. No, it isn't a compromise. It's an obvious choice, really. Soft tyres is a no-no, isn't it? Hard tyres is a no-no. Soft tyres is like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So soft tyres were the ones, but obviously they're going to wear out after 20 laps. That's a given. So yeah, it was just about trying to manage some of the understeer, but occasionally it was a little bit of a pain, especially with the curbs. It's difficult to get away with those bits of understeer when you've got the curbs on the outside ready to punish you when you do make those mistakes.
Yeah.
So it's about counteracting and reacting to each and every time that those curbs do try and bite you. And as long as you can be alert and on the ball, you can keep yourself out of trouble.
Yeah, that's it. What can you do race 2, buddy? From where you start, it's mid-pack. What can you do from there?
Just try and make my way through as quick as possible, stay out of trouble, not get involved in too many battles. Plenty of drivers in front of me who are more than capable of holding their own. So yeah, I'm not going to be expecting to be up the front, after the first lap, certainly not. But it's just going to have to react to what's going on in front of me and see how it goes, really.
The field...
Hopefully Disco, my teammate, can do a good job from what looks to be a pole, though, at the moment.
It does at the moment. The field looks a lot tighter this year. Is it going to be harder to come from mid-pack through to the front again?
Definitely, yeah. Definitely, because there's, as you say, it's a lot tighter. There's much less margin between the top drivers and the ones down at the bottom. So, ultimately, there's going to be a lot less gain when you're at the back or when you're fighting your way through. So, that will be a factor. But I'm just going to hope that everybody's clean and tidy and courteous and gives me the space to race. And let's hope for the best.
Well done, mate. We'll let you get back to it.
Cheers, Matt.
Cheers, buddy. Championship standings then look the way of this with 621 points up for grabs and 1,081 constructors points left up for grabs. Hey, who's even talking championships at the minute, Mazda? The title looks like this. Andy on 26 points with Dan on 21, Peaceful 15, Sutty 13, Gary 11, Fury 10, Xmark 9, Monkey Boy 8, BT Targa 7, Maze 6, Little Each 5, KLF 4, Emo 3, Argent 2, Disco 1 and D-Biggs 0. Shake and Bake Motorsport are second place. I've not redone that championship standing, so well done me. Emo guys off at this moment. As the constructors look the way I've put it upside down now. Matt, you're doing fantastic. Keep up the great work, you tell yourself, as you get it right now. Slingshot Motorsport lead the way, 27 points at the minute. Simplay Racing, great to see them back on the podium. We've not seen them on the podium at Simplay since Mazda won a race last season. They are sat second, 2 points clear of Shake and Bake Motorsport with no D-Bigs tonight. Audio Sport Prolapse P4 ahead of Team Prolapse, ahead of Leach Motorsport, third from bottom for the Leach Motorsport boys. Soundbad Motorsport of Fury and Emo Guy and Forever Forward Racing of Argent and Maze Gamer bring up the rear, but Mazda 621 points and 1,081 points constructors wise left to play for. There is still a long way to go. Disco on pole. There is a long way. Disco on pole at the moment from BT Targa, Little Each, Monkey Boy, Argent, Emo Guy, KLF. Maze got into the session late, so we'll only get one bite of this cherry.
Yeah. But I tell you what, Andy's in a very, very good position for a
Yeah.
double win. I know it's too early to call because he's got, like he said, there's a lot of good drivers in front of him. But look where Dan is on Orthodox, 13th.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? At least he's got at least 2 cars in between him.
Yeah, you're right. And you'd rather be where Dan and Andy are than where Gary is.
Yes, you would.
Gary starting
Although-
dead last.
Although, would you though, with people doing a lunge like we did in the first
Well,
race?
this is the
Now,
interesting.
If them drivers, like Dan, like Unorthodox and Dan said, if he didn't saw him, that would have been, very
Yeah.
bad for the whole probably back half of the grid because he would have wiped out a lot of people.
Yeah, it probably would have been game over, wouldn't it? But it wasn't, so we'll have to see what they can do as we go forward, though. But what's interesting to note is Sutty, the best of the rest in terms of those who cannot qualify in this next race then. And it is going to be fantastic to see what can happen as we go forward into this one. So then we line up on the grid for this next race, and who is on pole? It is Disco McDisco Face with that pole position. What a start for him. BT Targa then will line up second place with Lidlich in third. Better qualifying from him. Monkey Boy up in fourth place with Argent in fifth in Q2. Emo Guy only sixth place in that Mercedes-Benz with KLF 900 struggling down in seventh place. Mace Gamer didn't even get a lap on the board, starts eighth. Then the non-qualifiers, Sutsy Apex will be ninth ahead of Andy Xmart, Peaceful Explosion, Unorthodox, Fury and Gary bringing up the rear. Mazda, who's your tip for this second race?
I want to say Andy. Andy's going to get the double.
Andy going for the London buses, as we like to class it.
Oh, yes.
Andy,
what about you?
yeah, I think Andy might get it. I think Dan might struggle from where he is on the grid. But you never know. We'll have to wait and see. Only we'll find out in 20 laps' time. That, though, is Disco McDisco Face's sixth pole position here. And Andy says about his conversion rate, I've just noticed on the pole position stats page, I've won 4 races and never had pole.
There you go. Look.
So at the minute, Andy's conversion rate of pole to wins isn't bad. I don't get pole but win the races, it seems at the minute. I'm sure Andy's wanting a lot of that then. Cheers, bud, says Mike Matthews. Come on, big double DD for a race win, a race 2 win. Oh, yeah, says Welshie in the chat. And Dixie, big double DD. Obviously, DD for Dan Davis.
A lot of Dan Davis fans out there, eh?
A lot of Dan Davis fans out there. And it's going to be an interesting one to see as we head then into this into this second race. Yes, Mazda, your question.
Who was Beth going for? Is she the Gary
Well,
fan still?
There's a lot of confusion for Beth this season because me and Floyd are on the grid. Floyd, our son, my stepson, Beth's son, 10-year-old on the Formula 1 grid. You've got me on Formula 1 and GT3s. Gary's out there. She's also got, Dan. Is she a bit of a Dan fan now? She loves Welshie. Loves Welshie's dad bod. And, she loves the grizzly old bear of Welshie. So is she a Welshie fan? I just, brother-in-law of Bryn's on the grid. Beth could support whoever she wanted to. I don't know. But it's probably not me. I did see her, though, in the comments last night, bless her, cheering me and Smithy on. But I know on Sunday, she was sat, bless her, right? She's always been a part of Simplay. Everybody knows this. She's a big part. She was sat helping Floyd on Sunday, bless her. Try his best. We're synced up, though, for round 2 of this 24-round season. The lights are coming on. Somebody's jumped the start in the middle of the pack and it's green and Lidlich gets a flyer. But who jumped the pack there? I'm not sure.
Could it be Little Leach?
I think
it was lightning.
No, it wasn't Little Leach. Little Leach come from the second row. I think it may have been Emo Guy. I'm not sure. Someone, though, will definitely have a drive-through penalty. You see it's a bit shadowy now. The darker clouds have rolled in. And Disco up the inside of Little Leach into turn 2. Can he get the job done? They're still side by side. That's a very wide BT Targa. Trying to avoid the carnage. Obviously a bit less. You can let off a little bit in lap 1. But Little Leach leads this race from Disco, from BT, from Monkey Boy. Who's at the back? It's Kelly. Peaceful. Where's Andy? He's 9th. Gary's got from 15th to 10th. Gary in my personal chat. Gary, get on the Simplay stream. Gary all the way, but Floyd for F1. You on this as long as I was here last night, so saying go you. But Disco back into the lead. Beth, get on the Simplay stream, not my personal stream. You're on the wrong one. Disco from Little Leach, from BT. Monkey Boy, though, having a look at BT. Targa just a bit behind for Simplay Racing. Can't get a move done. Then it's Emo, who I think jumped the start, but it might have been Argent as well. I'm not sure. There's Maze Gamer behind Sutty. Sutty up 3 places. Gary behind Maze in 8th. Where is Andy? He's dropped to 15th, is Andy?
What's happened to him?
What has happened to him? That's the question. Someone, Little H is in the pits, as is Emo. I think Emo, guys, in the pits for his jump start. Kelly's got a time penalty.
So did them 3 jump the...
Go on, Little Leach. Go on, Little Leach. There's...
Oh,
who's that? That's Gary off.
that's Gary.
Go on, Little Leach.
Where is he?
They're all doing drive-throughs. All 3 of them have jumped the start, Mazda. Wow! And Kelly's been given a time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. They've all jumped the start, and they've all got a time penalty.
That has hurt Kelly big time, that.
It really has. Disco from BT, from Monkey Boy. From Sutty up to 4th. We said about Andy might win this. Sutty's in a prime position. Dan's up to 6th, though. What a cracking start to this second race. 3 drivers jumped the start. And poor O'Kelly's got a 10-second time penalty. 28 people watching. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button, please do. It helps the channel so much. Oh, Fury! Fury's off! Fury's off! Yeah, what has happened there? But either way, back to the mid-pack. Dan on the back of Maze Gamer here. Well, we said Andy Maz, and I think we may have jinxed him. That was track limits from BT and Monkey Boy there. Yes. A lot of track limits being taken. Warnings may have to be put out. But at the minute, Sutty 4th, Maze 5th, Dan 6th. Who's just behind Dan? It's X-Mark, then Argent, then Andy, then Gary. Gary trying to get on the back of Andy. Dan at the minute sitting in a good position, having a look at Maze into turn 1, thinks better of it. Look at Argent in the background on X-Mark. Is he going to think of moving to turn 1? No, again, thinks better of it. And that Mercedes just looks a bit awful. Argent looks a very twitchy. The cloud looks like it's rolled in though, Maz, because the stadium on the outside of the track here is really causing a shadow on this circuit at the minute.
It is, isn't it? Now, would that play a factor? You know, could we even cool the temperatures down the first race?
Well, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon now, so the time's rolled on. The track's got a bit cooler. And the cloud has rolled in as well, so the tyre temps might be a bit cooler. But look at these front 3 still sticking together. Sutty can't do nothing about these 3 at the minute.
No, these 3 have got really good pace.
They have, haven't they? Really showing their pace. Quickest man on track last time probably was BT Targa, a 30.0. Yes, it was. So you could tell the lower track times, Maz, because we was in the 29s. We're now in the 30s solidly at the minute.
Yeah.
But BT looking to pull away from Monkey Boy that little bit and just crawl onto the back of Disco as we come into the penultimate corner.
He's getting ever so close. Oh,
yeah,
boys,
come on, lads. Track limits again from the 3 leaders. We're not seeing what's happening in the background, but we imagine track limits may be a factor back there as well. Gary's lost out. No, he hasn't. Andy and X-Mark, Andy's got past Argent. See, Gary's not lost out any. Andy's just put a car between him and Gary by getting Argent in the way. So Andy now just needs to clear X-Mark. Then he'll be on the back of Dan. But Disco doing a job. Monkey Boy's dropped off the back of the leaders somewhat, though, at the moment. Mazda. He's 1.1 off the back of the leader. BT Target now some 4/10. Monkey Boy's trying to stay with these 2. Again, the lap times in the 30s and 31s. This lower track temperature is not helping anybody at the minute. It doesn't look like the times have fallen off a little bit.
They have, aren't they?
BT having a look on Disco down into turn 3. Monkey Boy just casually waiting.
And I was just thinking of what Dan and Andy were saying. Turn 3 is like hairpin, isn't it?
Yeah.
It looks like the cars are struggling.
Well, I struggled last night. That was where I struggled all in testing and all last night. And it's very similar to Dan. Lost the rear. Just had a wiggle. Whether it was a lapse in concentration or pushing too hard to try and pull away from Laney. But similar to what Dan said. Didn't hit the wall but managed to get going. But it lost me some 3-4 seconds. But it was weird, do you know what I mean? Because I didn't do it again that night. Here, though, is Andy looking on the back of Exmont. And while Dan's not got clear of Mays at the minute, this is Andy trying to get a car between the two of them. That is, in fact, no. How's Gary got in front of these boys?
I'm going to say, it looks like...
Right, so pit stops already.
Dropped it. Oh, you dropped it.
He has. Pit entrance, he's dropped it. Gary, Andy, and Peaceful look like they're coming in.
Oh, that's a big shout out. Big call, isn't it?
Big call. Peaceful in as well. Argent decided to start, even though he dropped it. I'd have brought it into the pits. Right then, who can do what here? Back out front, BT's just been gapped a little bit by Disco and has been caught somewhat by Monkey Boy. And again, track limits from these guys. I know Red Bull Ring's a tough track for track limits, but at times there's some being pushed. No, you're fine. BT has Monkey Boy breathing down his neck.
Let's have a look from what
Now let's go down to turn 3. Monkey Boy looking low.
He gets ever so close.
He
doesn't
does, very tight, very, very tight. Disco allowed here to just pull away. So Mays then keeping Dan at bay at the minute. And Andy, Peaceful and Gary have all pitted. Now, the gap's about 30 seconds for a pit stop. Just under 30 seconds, you'll jump him. Peaceful to the leader and Andy to the leader is 35. So to Dan, it's about 31 seconds because Dan's only 4 seconds off the lead here at the minute. But if we just jump back to Dan, he's right on the back of Maze Gamer. In fact, he's past Maze Gamer. Will he stay past Maze Gamer at the moment? Beth saying, what's Gary playing at? He's just pitted. Will he stay ahead of Maze Gamer into the penultimate corner? He does. And that's forced Maze Gamer a little wide there. But Dan giving him the room he needs. And Dan now ahead of Maze and can set after Exmont. And that's the place that Dan needed before Andy and that get back up to speed because they've got no track, nobody in front of them. Exmont, though, is in the pits. Oh, and another piece of track limits there just to all keep us all entertained. I think the stewards may have to come together here from both nights and just agree that everybody kind of gets a warning.
This ain't fair. I'm all for pushing the car to your limit, but when you take the track limits there and keep your foot planted to overtake like that.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be biased, but these rules are set for these guys and they should abide by them.
No, exactly. Andy's got ahead of Exmont. Peaceful's got ahead of Little Leach. Gary's got ahead of Little Leach. They didn't get ahead of Exmont, so Andy's put daylight between himself and Peaceful. But Maze is back in front of Dan. And while Dan is battling here with Maze, this is just slowing him down and putting him closer into Andy and Gary's clutches. N-Dubs is crazy good. Yep, Nananai.
Oh, Nana.
Jesus Christ, that is such a crap reference there, Matt. Come on. You're better than that. Dan looking for that undercut, the same kind of move as I did to Upbar last night, and that could have been dangerous. But Maze, does he have the straight line speed? He doesn't. Dan up the inside still. Maze chops the nose off of Dan's McLaren and says try again later. Dan and Sutty in the pits. By the way, I will never do another N-Dubs reference ever again because that was horrendous.
And look what has happened.
Yeah.
Gary is behind Peaceful.
Where's Andy though, Maz? This is the big one.
Andy.
Where is Andy? He's coming through the chicane. Right, let's go to Dan and load the track map.
Dan, where is Dan?
He's still in the pit lane.
I know, but I'm trying to. There we go.
No, yeah. So Dan's coming away. Right. That is Kelly. That is Emo. That is Andy. This could be close again, like it was with Peaceful in race 1. Kelly and Emo should get a hold of Dan. What about Andy? There's the gap to each other. Dan looks like he could be out in front of Andy. He is out in front of Andy, but has to clear Emo and Kelly. Andy now the car behind, and Dan flashing the lights like some legend. Emo guys let him through. Emo Guy did not fight that one. Emo Guy's got a pit, and he did not fight that one at all. Is he going to fight with Andy, yes or no? That's the question. I wouldn't imagine so if he's letting Dan through.
I don't know, but it's not where you want to be behind the car, is it, for this turn?
No.
This corner, I should say.
But this is all letting Dan get away. Emo Guy, oh, that Mercedes. Really loose on the rear. Disco is in the pits, and Emo Guy's letting Andy go. Disco then into the pits at the end of lap 7, as is Monkey Boy. BT Targa leads this race. Maze Gamer in as well. So now then, let's go to Maze Gamer, and let's keep an eye on where Dan will be to Maze. Maze game is in. No time penalty for Maze this time around. Stops at his box. In. Disco's away. Monkey Boy's not yet gone. Long hold for Maze. Monkey Boy's away. Maze is away. There is Sooty. There's Dan. Dan's cleared Kelly as well, so this is game on here. I think Dan's going to get Maze. He looks a lot closer, but Andy as well should get Maze Gamer. Off the limiter he comes now. Dan gets the undercut on Maze. The undercut is so strong around here. That is a great job from him. Maze cut the pit exit line. No, managed to stay within it. Tucks in between Kelly and Andy now. And Andy should have a run on Maze Gamer. Emo guy into the pits. So there's 2 cars between.
Oh, just move over a little bit.
Oh, Maze. Oh, very wiggly. And Andy does well not to collect Maze there, who's all over the place under the braking. But there's 2 cars between Andy and Dan here at the minute, Mazda.
Yeah, and one of them is unorthodox dad, so we got a father and son on the grid together.
Yep. Will they be helping each other? Kelly very deep as Maze Gamer tries to outbrake him. Maze gets past Kelly, sets him up an absolute treat. Now can Andy get Kelly done? He's going to look at this left-hander later on the brakes. Oh, Kelly though. Oh, late on the brakes. Maze very wide. Andy's in a very tricky position here with 2 guys who come up from Pro-Am. They're holding their bottle. They are holding their nerve against an established driver, and Andy just taps Kelly, and they both lose the rear. Andy manages to keep going. I think Kelly's off. Hard one to call that on the view he was on, but we'll have to wait and see. Kelly, though, pits. There's now only 1 car between Dan and Andy, but there's 6 seconds between them. This is Sooty on Monkey Boy for P3 at the minute. Dan is the car behind. Will Sooty allow Dan through, or is Sooty racing his own race? I know they'll be in a party together. Sooty, Kelly's teammate. Will Sooty let Dan through, or will Sooty race Dan hard? Sooty trying to get past Monkey Boy in the Ferrari, and that Ferrari holding its nerve. BT Targa yet to pit. We're on lap 9 of 20. And BT is the only car not yet pitted. Sooty on Monkey Boy. Yeah, what's the gap? 23 seconds. He's going to lose out to these 2 at this rate. May even lose out to...
He's just 30 seconds in front of Dan.
Yeah, so it'll be touch and go BT to Dan. But the question, he's going to lose out to these 2, no doubt about that. BT's well in front. In fact, he's just started another lap. Sooty and Monkey Boy going toe to toe here. And we both simply racing drivers. So, I love Sooty, but go Monkey Boy.
Yeah, we got to save Monkey Boy.
Oh, a tap up the rear from Sooty there. Just had such more mid-corner speed. And he's tapped Monkey Boy on the rear again. Another move at the final corner where Sooty just taps the rear of a car. This time Monkey Boy keeps it going. But again, Sooty just tapping Monkey Boy 2 corners in a row. Maze Gamer's round.
Oh, what a place.
Kept it part, that's the main thing.
Yep. Gary just can't find
No.
a way.
Can't, can he? But Sooty's now on the podium. There was definite 2 taps there, Mazda. Again, at the same place we saw Sooty overtake race 1.
Yeah, I think...
we're all for hard, fair, tough racing. But there's tough racing, then there's just tapping cars out the way. And,
They weren't a move there. They weren't a move. We should have just backed off, wait for that straight, get the slip.
We hear in the touring cars, don't we, a lot? They brought a push to pass rule in. And Sooty kind of set his move up into the final corner by nudging Monkey Boy, then nudging him again. There's pushing to pass, and then there's, that's twice he's done it at the same part of the track. Is it something that Sooty's just got to reel in a little bit? Dan now gaining on the back of Monkey Boy like mad.
Yes, but Monkey Boy is not far behind Sooty, so
Yeah, Monkey Boy trying to get back on the rear end of Sooty Apex. With that little incident between Sooty and Monkey Boy, BT Targa managed to extend his gap over these 3 to that 30-second mark, because Sooty and Monkey Boy, don't forget, was under the 30 mark to BT Targa. Dan, though, has a run on Monkey Boy out the final corner and job done. This is maybe what Sooty should have been looking to do. And
Yeah,
Dan up the inside of Monkey Boy, and that is job done for Dan. Puts another car between himself and Andy. And Dan up to 4th. Now, question is, how hard is Sooty going to fight Dan? Because there's a lot of Prolapse cars on this grid this season, and what we don't want to be seeing is cars just letting others through. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I get Emo Guy's situation. He had to pit. He let people through because he's not in their battle. That's fine, I get that situation. But if we're going to start letting cars through, we're not really racing, are we? And half the grid being Prolapse, we want them to fight each other, as well as, be fair.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're here for, us commentary, you guys watching, that's what we're here for, to watch racing, not like, come on mate, you can come through. You know what I mean? Well,
she's saying the Ferrari looks good, and yeah, completely agree with what you're saying. BT Targa still yet not pitted, and Sooty and Dan well under that 30-second mark to BT Targa now. In fact, Dan just on the limit, Sooty just under the 30 mark. Monkey Boy just over it, so it's going to be interesting when BT comes into the pits, and he's got to do so relatively soon as well. What you missed there, Welshie, was the Acura looked good as well, mate, by the way. After it beat you last night. Hey, Smith. Fury on Argent. Once teammates, once Pro-Am Constructors Champions together for forever forward. Fury, now part of Sandbags Motorsport. Yeah, now rivals. On the back of Argent. P11 at the minute for Kieran. Just to say, by the way, Disco BT, not seen a lot of them in this race, but Disco doing a fantastic job. Net first in this race, we do believe. But this season's going to be cracking, if anything, if tonight's anything to go by.
Oh, it sure is, isn't it? I thought someone dropped it then, the way Mercedes.
Where's Gary and Peaceful? They still can't be separated. Gary still cannot find a way past this Ferrari Mazda.
Yeah, let's jump on board a sec, because this is what Gary is looking at. I'm going to go and chase just to see.
And they've got they can see Andy as well in the distance, can't they? Yeah, they are matching brilliantly, and they can see Andy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did look good in Smithy's hands after I dropped it in front here as BT comes into the pits on lap 12. So Mazda.
Yes.
Let's go to BT Targa in the pits. And that next dot, let's go back to the trackside view. The next dot you'll see coming around this fight. Wow, that's a good stop. Dan's got Sooty. Now, I hope Sooty's fought Dan hard there. I hope they've not just let each other through, because that'll be disappointing. But Disco is going to take the lead. BT might keep second place. Will keep second place. He has done a cracking job there. And Dan, is he defending from Sooty? I don't know how close they are. No, he's got him done pretty well there. I hope that Sooty's not letting him through, being part of a Prolapse team now. It's round 2 of the season. Let's be realistic. It's round 2. We don't want guys letting each other through. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just hope this isn't the case, that Prolapse boys have let Prolapse boys through, and that Emo let Andy through, and all this other nonsense. Yes, there's good friends on the game. Yes, there's multiple people in Prolapse. There's multiple people that want to be part of Slingshot Motorsport. There's multiple people who know Leachy Motorsport. There's people in Simplay Racing. But race hard against each other. Don't let drivers through because you know them, and I best not hit him. It's my dad, it's my son, it's a Prolapse teammate, so it's a Slingshot Motorsport teammate. If it's your teammate, fine. We want to see quality racing. I'm just hoping that guys aren't letting other drivers through. It's round 2, everything to play for still. Because the way Dan's carving his way through this field, it's like a knife through butter. Whereas Andy, second quickest guy in race 1, still stuck behind Monkey Boy. So,
He is catching. But so is Sooty catching.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope there's a fight on here as well, because BT up the road, Dan's going to have to set his sights on another Prolapse teammate in BT Targa. And set his sights on getting past BT Targa in this second round of the season. Disco, only 2.5 up the road. So can BT get back onto the pace? 6 laps to go. 2.8 is doable in 6 laps.
Tell you what, that way blinding pit stop from BT.
Oh, cracking, wasn't it? Yeah. Cracking pit stop. And we thought that Dan and Sooty had them done, but obviously not the case. You know, we thought BT was coming out closer to Monkey Boy, that Dan and Sutty was going to be in front, and that BT would have come out around Monkey Boy, but obviously not to be.
No, that was amazing.
There's Peaceful and Gary in the background as well, so sort of like 3 battles 2 by 2. As here's Little Leech on the back of Emo Guy for P13. Not the night for Little Leech here at this moment.
Well, Fury's got Argent and dropped him.
Yeah, he has.
Argent may have dropped it himself the way, we know what he's like.
Text me in the mid-session break, did Argent, and he said, in all the practice I've done, I never had the rear end come out on me. Now, if you're driving the Mercedes AMG on GTA 5, it won't come round on you on there. Basically, test more. Now, he's suffering with a bad leg as well. He's got a bit of a football injury at the minute, Argent. So, suffering with a bit of an injury. And, he's keeping going at this moment in time. He's sat P12. And, hey, I'm sure he'll take P12 ahead of Emo Guy and Little Leech at this moment in time. And he's going at the moment. BT Targ has lost some 2 seconds to Disco. In fact, Disco has gapped.
But, right, I know we're talking about the cars again, but there's only one car of Mercedes in the top 10, and that's 10th place. And Little Leech has dropped it and Matt's unplugged his mic, or muted it again.
What's happening with this microphone if it keeps going out? But I'll try and make sure that's nothing too bad. But he just tapped the back of Emo Guy there, didn't he, Maz? And round it went, the Porsche.
Yeah.
Bit silly. He looked like he carried too much speed through the corner there, did Little Leech. A little silly, if you ask me.
It is, but that's the corner you want to carry the speed for that corner to try and get.
Yeah,
it,
but if there's a car in front, you just can't, can you?
Well, no, but maybe
Dan,
you're hoping that the car in front of you will do the same.
Yeah, possibly.
Happen, but
Dan now gapping Sutty a little bit. Andy's P5. Monkey Boy's dropped down to P8, so not sure what's happened to him. Smithy, Little Leech for Pro-Am next season. That's a bold early statement, that, from Smithy. Me and you up, Smithy, Little Leech down, yeah?
I think he'd be up for that.
X-Mart now on the back of Monkey Boy. What happened to Monkey Boy? Thinks he's lost out to Peaceful. And Gary has managed to get ahead of Peaceful Explosion as well on the timing screen. So Gary's finally managed to get past him.
Yeah, well, it's took him, 16 laps?
Yep, it's took him a while.
15 laps, do you know what I mean? That's... Oof.
Dan now gaining on the back of PT Targary with some 1 second, 9/10 of a second quicker last lap. Disco, the only other guy in the 29s with Dan, but some 4/10 slower. Dan just slowly starting to drop Sutty Apex here. All 15 drivers still out there on track at the minute. Kelly running in last, bless him. But here is X-Mart trying to gain on the back of Monkey Boy. Maze Gamer just in the background as well, looking interested. Oh, late on the brake. Both of them late on the brakes there, as late as they possibly dare be on the brakes.
So back to what I was saying, Matt, what do you think about the Mercedes? Only one top 10, which is 10th place.
I said, Maz, and I said this too, I think Fury was wrong, would have been wrong to get out of it, but he's kind of wrong to stay in it. I said to Peaceful, you're right to get out of it. We was trying to tell Argent. You know, for someone like Fury, I think is a good car. He got the best out of the Merc last year, didn't make too many mistakes like Peaceful did, got the best out of it. I think it's a good car. For Kieran and for Peaceful's done right. I don't think the Merc, in someone else's hands, is going to be the car to get them anywhere near the front this season. Fury, yes. Kieran, Emo Guy, Maze, maybe not. You know? Maze had to team up with Fury. They've gone in the Merc. I don't think for Kieran... I think Peaceful and Monkey have made the right decision of getting out of that Merc. I don't think the car suits the winter. It suits warmer conditions where you can use the harder tyre. The Merc does not like to be on the softs, I find. It chews through them. As X-Mart looking up the inside of Monkey Boy into turn 2. Can't get that move done. And he is getting closer. What about yourself, Maz? Mercedes-Benz?
Well, I don't know. I prefer the soft tyres, but I cannot use the hards at all with the Merc. And I quite like the Merc, but I just don't think the colder weather is the right car for colder weathers at all. Because I found, I know I'm not.
Well, we've driven the Merc quite a lot in the past.
But I haven't tested it in cold weather, and even I felt like the back end of the car was just way too twitchy.
But you see, I find it with the Audi and the Lamborghini as well, as Dan then looking to make a move on BT Targa, who tries to come across and defend, but Dan gets that job done. And Dan then up to P2. BT slowing his outside, has to just go a little wider than he might have wanted to there. He is pushing back into the slipstream of an Orthodubs here, and up the hill they go towards the start straight. And here they come now. BT Targa looking to go side by side with Dan. Dan's going to have the inside line. Does BT have the car in front into turn 2? No. What about the undercut? Can't get it done. He's run a little wide, and Dan gets into second place.
But Gary has dropped it somewhere because Peaceful has now got back in front.
He has indeed, and Gary looking to get back past him again. Peaceful's going to force him to the outside like we've just seen Dan do with BT Targa. Long way around for Gary, taking the... Oh, and that's a champion's move, look. He's set him up an absolute kipper. Thank you, Mama, for the carrots. Peaceful explosion. You need to wake up earlier in the morning to break a lot earlier if you're going to catch Gary 131 out. The two-time champ putting on an absolute masterclass under brake in there. But Peaceful round the outside is trying to say, come on then, undercut me. I'm going to go around your outside and try and keep it there. Tuck's back in now. No, he doesn't. He's up the inside. Gary has to give him room, and Peaceful nearly taps the rear. And this, good job from these two at the minute. Dan's dropped it. Dan has dropped it.
Wow. And now Andy's there, look, he's smelling. I know there's only 2 laps to go, but can Andy?
We're talking about Dan and Andy here. I've just noticed. I've said about team drivers letting each other through, but we're talking about Andy and Dan here as if they're up for the title already. They're not. Sooty stays wide. Sooty defends them harder. I've seen him defend them harder. As Dan took so much track limits. Yeah, it was so deep. Maybe Sooty didn't expect Dan to send one then.
No.
We've seen Sooty defend harder than that though. But yeah, Andy on the back of Dan now. Lap 19 of 20. Sooty losing the rear a little bit. That's going to compromise his run. And Dan's got a mega run now as they come down the hill. We've got a great view of whether Sooty will defend this or not. I've seen Sooty defend hard. Can he defend hard here? They go side by side. He's defending hard already. Andy's having a look as well. Sooty's McLaren just not turning in as nice as Dan's. And they stay 3, 4 and 5 at the minute. This has allowed BT and Disco to get away. And Andy now can smell blood maybe of a podium again. Gary's back ahead of Peaceful as we know. With that beautiful undercut. Monkey Boy still 8th ahead of Xmart. Fury has lost out to Emo Guy somewhere who's got past Argent. So Mercedes are 10, 11, 12, 13 in this race. Dan on the back of Sooty.
And then McLaren 2nd and 3rd.
2nd, 3rd and 4th.
And 4th.
Oh, that's track limits.
Dan, oof.
Yeah. Welshie Nicky, if you're watching, we've got some work to do with these track limits, I think, as we go into this. Then Dan up towards turn 1 has got Andy breathing down his neck. Sooty and Andy, yeah, all 3 of them nearly track limits. We're on the last lap of this race. We'll have to jump to Disco towards the end. But Dan now on Sooty. Look at Dan. Sooty's defending hard from him here. And that's what we expect to see from Sooty. Apex, hard defence. Dan's going to try and go around the outside. And Sooty, does he get the undercut? He does get the undercut. Dan takes maybe just within the track limits here. And Andy's sitting and watching this. Let's shift to the track side. Andy's sitting and watching this thinking, yes, I'm having a piece. This Disco must have dropped it because it's a second between the leaders out front. Sooty holding Dan at bay. There's the gap for first. We'll stick with Sooty for the time being. Him and Dan side by side. Here comes Sooty up the inside of Dan. Once again to hold Dan off. He doesn't want to force him too hard. I say race each other. This is what I mean. Don't force each other too wide though. As Andy's going to pounce, you reckon? The 2 leaders just up the road. Andy, whoa, well over the track limits there. He's going to have to get out of that. We're going to have to cut to Disco in a moment. As here he comes to take his first race win of the season. Mazda will have to get the top 3 in for a podium chat in just a minute. But Disco with Disco Face is going to win this second race of the season. BT Targa is going to come home for a second place. It is going to be Sutty. No, it's going to be Dan on the podium. How has Dan got that done? Dan 3rd, Sutty 4th, Andy 5th. It's going to be Gary 131 to take a 6th place. Peaceful's going to come home for a 7th.
Monkey Boy's kept X-Mark behind him.
Yeah, Monkey Boy P8, two 8 places for him. X-Mark then is going to come home for P9, P10 for Maze Gamer in this one. It's going to be Emo Guy, who looks like he's going to get 11th place. He's some 7 seconds up the road from Fury. Just want to take one major spin now. Then to obviously teammates. Here comes Emo Guy then for a P11 tonight. In what is actually, he's getting close. In fact, this was Emo Guy's 50th race. So well done, Emo Guy on the 12th, on the 11th place. Sorry, was that Emo Guy's 50th race? No, that was his 49th. So next week will be Emo Guy's 50th. Fury 12th. Argent's going to come home for 13th place. And Little Leech.
He's just dropped it.
Work to be done. Has he dropped it? Work to be done for Little Leech, yeah, because what a shame. Little Leech work to be done going into next week. Obviously, the birth of his son, so congrats to him. He's 14th. Kelly bringing up the rear in 15th place. Maz to get the top 3 in for an interview.
Okay.
Here comes Kelly then slowly across the line. Come on, Kelly. He crosses the line now. Not the race that Kelly wanted. And Disco then is your race winner. Fastest lap of this race goes the way of Dan. So back-to-back fastest laps for him. And he'll take the extra point in this one as well. And while we wait for Mazda to get BT Targa and Disco McDisco Face in the chat, let's just run you through the current Drivers' Championships after the first 2 rounds of the season in what has been a fantastic drive all night from everybody. And Dan and Andy are top of the championship, tied on 37 points apiece, with BT Targa sat in second place. Sutty's and third. Sutty's tied 4th with Disco on 26. Peaceful's 6th on 24, with Gary on 21 down in P7. P8 is X-Mark, P9 Monkey Boy. Fury's in 10th, Mace Gamer 11th, with Emo Guy 12th. Little Leech 13th, just ahead of KLF and Argent, who are tied on 5 points apiece. And then D-Biggs bringing up the rear. And in the Constructors' Championship, it go in the way of Slingshot Motorsport, 63 points the gap already from Team Prolapse, who climb up to second at the end of the night, with Simplay Racing in third place, 3 points ahead of Shake and Bake in fourth. Audio Sport Prolapse in fifth, Leech Motorsport down in sixth place, with Sandbags Motorsport in seventh, and Forever Forward Racing bringing up the rear. But we'll start then with Dan. And Dan, that was a podium that I didn't thought you was going to get at the end.
Yeah, me, Sutty and Kelly in the same party, and that was a good ding-dong towards the end. I enjoyed that. Me and Sutty fighting clean and fair, and yeah, that was good fun. I enjoyed that.
Bit of a tricky race for you, though, in this one. You seem to make a mistake again. Was that the case?
Yeah, again, turn 3 where I've been making the time, it's just where I just made the same mistake again and just pushing too hard. So I really have to learn that with the Porsche, I could catch things. With this McLaren, if you just push it over the limit, and then it's just going to kill you. So, no, congratulations, Disco. Well done, BT. He gave me a good fight at first, and then I made the mistake, and then he deserved the second place. So a good job from them. Well, all in all, not too disheartened. I'll take a second and a third, and I wasn't listening to the standings, so I guess I'm near the top. So
tied first with Andy.
Hey, that will do. I'm quite happy. Considering this is a Beamer circuit, then I'm quite happy to walk away just tied with Andy. Yeah,
like you say, it was a tricky race. You lost it again at turn 3. Race 2, though, how was the conditions for you? Obviously, it looked like a bit cloudier at the start of the race. What was the temperatures like? Did they change much?
It seemed fairly similar for me. I don't know about everyone else, but it felt similar. It's just me pushing too hard. Tyres, again, when I pushed too hard, they just gone up pressure a little bit. But nonetheless, yeah, it wasn't too bad. I just focused on the drivers around, getting stuck behind Maze for a while. So it was just really focusing on that. And you say just before we carry on, you said about fastest lap was me. It's actually Andy who had the fastest lap. So.
Oh, was it? Oh, yes, it was Andy. Sorry, yeah, no. So Andy leads the championship then by 1 point. Apologies, didn't see that one. Cheers, Dan, for correcting me on that. So Andy actually leads the championship by 1 point. Go on, Maz.
What do you think about track limits there, Dan? Because a lot of people were taking them.
Yourself
I mean-
included.
Yeah, I mean, I knew about the strike, so I was kind of using them to the right time, but I felt like I was very much in limit at times. You said 2 wheels on the curb, and most of the time was 2 wheels on the curb. If I did go wide, I would lift a little bit, but other than that, I felt like other people were taking more of track limits, especially certain Mercedes drivers. It was, I think, unfair, considering I was trying to stick with track limits, but it's hard round here.
Yeah, no, very hard. Well done tonight, though, Dan. We look forward to seeing you out there at Watkins Glen next week. And for those who are around on Sunday night at 7 p.m. GMT, don't forget to tune in with Dan Davis live for the Formula One Round 2 at Bahrain. But we'll go to your Team ProLabs teammate now in the roster, should I say, not on the track. BT, that was a better second race for yourself out there.
Oh, much better. I really enjoyed that one. Had a great battle with Disco. Congrats, mate, to the win. At first, but I feel either the dirty air or just the confidence trying to get this McLaren round consistently. I find literally there's a small margin, like Dan said, before the rear's going to snap.
Yeah.
And I can't catch it. But so yeah, I feel like it's probably not my favourite track with the McLaren. So to come out with what I did, I was well pleased. Really pleased.
And you, like you say, you battled hard with Disco and Monkey Boy, to be fair, at the beginning part of the race. You had a great battle with Dan as well.
Yeah, did. Yeah, had some good even with race one. I was in and out off the track and in and out of the pits. But yeah, I had some good races with Monkey Boy.
You've gone from McLaren to Porsche to... you've gone from Mercedes to Porsche to McLaren. How's that transition been for you?
It has been... definitely, I think the braking, that is the hardest thing I've tried to adjust to, because I'm really confident in the Merc. I was getting super confident with the Porsche by the end of the season. And I can see the excitement in the McLaren, but it's the consistency I can't find yet, but hopefully it will come. But yeah, I do like the McLaren. There's a lot of grip there when you can get the right setup.
Well, we look forward to seeing you out there at Watkins Glen as well, mate. Well, congratulations tonight on the P2. And Disco, not the race one you wanted, but that was a better race too.
Yeah, race two, just from the start, just traffic. With everybody being as tight as they were with the times, I knew it was going to be a bit messy. Picked up a little bit of damage at the start of the first race. That backed me up to the back of the grid and the tyres and everything. I used it as a test session really, and then when the tyres went, I was causing trouble for the guys on track, so just retire the car.
Yeah. You got into this one though, you took the pole position in qualifying, led from the start. BT and Monkey Boy kept you honest though at the start, didn't they? They kept you very honest until the pit stops came around, and really BT had a fantastic pit stop, but you managed to bring the gap, increase the gap a little bit after the round of pit stops. Did that give you that bit of breathing space?
Yeah, I mean, the two of them were right up my gearbox for the first quarter of the race, and I was pushing, and just hoping my tyres were going to stay. I made a slight change between races, so the tyres were better. So again, once they settled down and got up to prime, that was it. It just stabled out, knocking in 29s consistently.
Yeah.
Went in for a pit stop. I did a similar 2-point-something second stop, and that was it, just to the end of the race. And when I had my last lap spin and let BT back at me, sort of thing. So,
what happened at the last lap then, mate? Was it just tyres had gone, or?
To be honest, I'd actually just let off the pace, and then the last lap, I lost concentration. Too much acceleration the exit of turn 2, and that was it. It spun it round, just had enough of a cushion to get it round again and go.
Well, we look forward to seeing you next week, buddy. Congrats tonight.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, guys. Good. Well done to the other guys too.
Cheers, buddy. So, Mazda, thanks for stepping in at last minute. Obviously, we should have Nicky back next week. What was your thoughts and driver of the day?
I don't know. The thoughts, though, cracking race. I think you're going to be interested in the rest of the season. I certainly will be watching. And hopefully, you never know, I might be able to get back on the comms for another race, but we'll find out. We'll see.
Driver of the day?
I don't know. It's too hard to say because everybody, in their own way, was good first race, and I want to say Andy.
Fair enough. I'm going to go the way. I was going to say Andy as well. I think Andy's had a cracking night. But honourable shout outs to Dan, Peaceful, Gary as well as BT Disco for their wins and podiums as well. But that's all we've got time for. We'll be back live on Sunday night where Dan Davies will be taking you through the action of Formula 1 2021 at Bahrain, the Sakhir. The place is Sakhir, the Sakhir Grand Prix, the Bahrain Grand Prix. Let's hope it's less chaotic than last week. I know Disco was in the chat loving the action and the drama of F1. Let's see if it'll be less chaotic. Can Floyd score another point? Can Kelly get another podium? Can Mazda not bottle it and try and push me to the very end? Can my internet stay in and I don't get disconnected? Either way, it's going to be fantastic. We'll be back live for Pro and Pro-Am next Wednesday and Thursday night where Dan and Kelly will be bringing you the Pro-Am action. Can the Acura keep on its winning ways or will Ben Parkey and Laney challenge the Acura at Watkins Glen? Anybody else going to step up to the plate? We'll wait and see. The pros will then be back. Will it be BMW dominance and take 2 more wins? Or will this McLaren of Unorthodox be able to register his first win of the season? What can Gary and Peaceful do as well as the rest of the field? From all of us here at Simplay Motorsport, take care. Good night. We're up. And it's muted,
sure?
so don't... Yeah, we muted, don't worry.
Sure?
Yes, we muted.
You fucking penis.
Dan, can you call me?
Why?
Can you call me?
Was it a certain thing that's happened?
I'm going to set up a lobby. I need you to call me. So give me 2 minutes. Hang on, let me just get a lobby set up.
Is it a personal thing?
Yes, so call me. I'm going to then go upstairs. I'm just going to get a lobby set up.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man.
Guys, I'll see you next week.
Yes, see you next week, buddy. Well done tonight, mate. Well done.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
That's turn public off. That's fine. Yeah, hang on a second, babe. Hang on, I'm just inviting people in. Kelly, Monkey, Peaceful, Dan, I've sent played together. BT, Gary, Sutty, Emo, Xmart, Little H. Fuck Emo. Invite. Stop.